truth ignite. In the dark we'll spark the fight. Unfornicated, keep on strong. Debunk the myths where they don't belong. Falsehoods crumble brick by brick. We're too sharp, too quick to trick. Streaming in loud, our fearless shout. We'll burn the nonsense from inside out. Light it up, let the truth ignite. Debunk the myths where they don't belong. Falsehoods crumble brick by brick. We're too sharp, too quick to trick. Streaming in loud, our fearless shout. We'll burn the nonsense from inside out. Light it up, let the truth ignite. In the dark, we'll spark the fight. Unfornicated, keep on strong. Debunk the myths where they don't belong.
Let's try this again. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to a Saturday stream. I know I'm running a little bit late, but I'm on purposely doing that because I don't want to. I want to cover this, but I want to cover this not directly live. I want to cover this as part of a little bit of a delay. So hopefully you guys are here for that, and we're going to be enjoying a debate of sorts. It appears that we have a conversation about general relativity coming. And basically in a boxing style format, in the red corner, we have Mr. Wes G, friend of the channel, a nice little debunker in the global community, who on his side is, well, he's got centuries of experimentation and probably one of the brightest individuals to ever be part of science in Albert Einstein. And in the blue corner, we have Roger Ledwell, who's bringing confidence, vibes, and experience from having repeated the 7th grade more than once. So let's get to it. Bear with me for 1 second here. That was going to be almost a wrong one. How far behind are we already?
Must I share your
Hold
screen,
on.
Roger?
All right, so we're 10 minutes behind. That's perfect. That works out. Wow, they started on time. I'm mildly impressed. I thought for sure they weren't going to start on time, so I had not to fight with my coffee maker and everything else, but I digress. So let's bring this up on a share. Okay. We have a counter tonight, folks. If you watch Roger at all, you know that he has this nervous little laugh when he ends a sentence and there's going to be some uncomfortable silence. We're going to start counting. Now, I made sure this counter goes up to 4 digits. So even though this should only be about an hour, If it goes to 5 digits, we might be in trouble. Oh, wow, look at that. Wrong fucking screen. It's one of those days. All right. Oh, that's a little better. 4D, cool, bro. Yeah. By the way, I'd just like to say, everyone, thank you everybody in chat who's here. If you've been here for a while, you remember the Zoo crew, and I appreciate all your support. It's a new year. We have whole sorts of things coming out, hopefully soon. Just getting over the flu myself, so I'm having a little bit of a struggle bus trying to get feeling human again. But let's sort this all out. So anyway, here we go. Let's start the dumpster fire.
And we are live. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Glad you could make it for this epic showdown. It's going to be good.
Illusion. He might have. It seems that his forehead is growing larger than a movie screen.
But I'll make it. Thank you guys for choosing this platform to debate. I hope I'll be a good enough moderator for you guys. I don't know if you guys want to do intros, not that it's needed, but before we do the actual debate, say who you are.
Yeah. I don't mind. My name's Wes. I have only been in this flat Earth arena for maybe
Wes the Poe.
2 years. I am an engineer, electrical engineer. I graduated from school with a bachelor's of science, and I love doing these debates. Well, I love just being part of the group anyway, just because I learn about science. I learn about new things that I hadn't considered before. And it also helps sharpen my explaining skills for what I do. So I love the opportunity. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. And then
in case you didn't notice, I'm new to the streaming shit, and I'm like scrambling here. So we're making this work.
Oh, yes. My name is Roger Ledwell. I've been in this arena for probably close to a decade. I've heard every kind of argument, but I do like the argument. It sharpens everybody's skills and keeps everybody aware of every bit of the topic. And I like keeping it on point.
Yep.
That's about it.
Awesome. It's great. Again, very pleased to have you guys here. Thank you very much. I'm sure we're going to have a great discussion. It's not really going to need me.
Yep.
I'll just keep the time actually. So Wesley's going to start off with his 5-minute opening, and then Roger will do so too, and then we'll hop into 5-minute rebuttals and then open discussion. But so Wesley, if you're ready, you can do so.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to upload this into here. I guess that's the easiest way. So give me 1 second.
While we're waiting on Wesley here.
Good, yeah.
Am I glitching?
Yes, Wesley, you're a Poe.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna just present my desktop. Share screen.
What's gonna find out? Is your surname German?
It's German French, so they call it the Alsace area. So yes.
Okay, that's okay.
All right, so I think I should be able to share this and keep me on task. If I'm off time, just let me know. But
don't mind. I'm gonna go ahead and kill their chat.
Present this.
And cover it with you.
Slideshow start from current slide. Okay. I'm bad at tech, even though I'm an engineer. I'm terrible at tech, so I'm not afraid to admit that. So, thanks, Flatzoid, for having this debate. Thank you to Roger for challenging me and creating this topic. Love to talk about this. Hopefully we have a good, lighthearted discussion. Always like sharing ideas and hearing about it.
For those who don't know, Wes has been on many of the channels. He's and I'm sorry, you have to kind of stomach through these interruptions, otherwise we get a copyright strike, and worked hard on trying not to get those. So let's not do that. Anyway, as Wes talked about his background as electrical engineering, he's been in all these channels. He's been helping out, been trying to talk to Roger multiple times about this, and finally got around to having this done, not by any fault of his own. Yeah, fire extinguisher. That's going to be a different thing. That's we're out of those. I'm sorry, Mike. Grounded extracts. Nice to see you, bud. I appreciate that. How you doing? Happy New Year. Debatable D is also in here. Thank you, Debatable D. And we have Roger Dat, and we have the regular Epic Zoo crew of Michaela and Max and Arnold and everybody else. So, all of you in chat, there are a sum of 42 of you guys. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year to all of you. Hopefully, you guys are starting your New Year off great. I'm happy you're starting it here with me. So let's let Wes start his presentation and go from there.
Ideas. So we're going to be talking about, my position is gravity is real and measurable, and the other side would be RDD, relative density displacement or disequilibrium, which Roger will present. So I'm going to start just with my side first. And first I want to talk about why science is important, because we'll bring this discussion into clarity as we go through it. So science is used to describe natural phenomenon and explain why and how nature occurs and predict what will happen next. Those are the three. Hold on a second. I'm getting a back feed here.
I got to move things around. My windows are all fucked up right now. My apologies.
Sounds fine by me on my side there.
Yeah, no, I was just getting music in from another stream. So keep going here. From current slide. So
hey, Wes was listening.
That in science, we come up with formulas that we can turn observations into calculations and then test claims about our reality. So today we'll be testing gravity, we'll be testing RDD, and then from that we can come up with formulas and calculations to predict what will happen in the future. And the reason why that's important is people use this to bring formulas to design for buildings, bridges, aircraft, obviously, build satellites, launch them into space, if you believe that, or planes. You can just go with that. Ideas are great. We all have good ideas. We all have terrible ideas. I remember a good friend of mine came up with this idea of a boat, car, copter kind of thing I see here on the right. I'll play it for you, but it wasn't a very good idea. We tried it for a little bit and it kind of fell apart. So we test these ideas, and if they fail like that, then they're probably not good ideas, or we have to change something about it to do good. So what we're asking today is, which model, gravity or RDD, can be used to calculate, predict, and enable us to build new technology or build infrastructure? So let's talk about the universal law of gravitation that was brought up here between Einstein and Newton. Newton brought up the universal law of gravitation, and Einstein refined it to the theory of relativity that we now know of today's. But what's really important in here, and I'm just going to highlight the text, the third line or fourth line down. Einstein says that the theory of relativity is not a theory of space alone.
Yeah, you're right, Arnold. I don't know how we didn't get a nervous laugh to start with on that.
Or time alone, but of space and time together. In the limit of weak gravitational fields, which is what we have here on Earth, it leads to the Newtonian theory. So gravity is the natural measurable, we measure it, acceleration of masses toward each other. And I'm going to show those experiments in a second here, caused by gravitational fields. Newton's laws calculate motion accurately, here, not only here on Earth, but also the orbits of the planets and comets. So these equations on the left are all from Newton, and they were verified through Einstein in non-relativistic speeds or gravities. And so, on the left here, these are all fancy, variables or fancy letters, but it's pretty simple. The one on the left here, force, is equal to the gravitational constant, which is constant for all things. And then you have two masses. So on Earth, it would be the mass of Earth and then the mass of, let's say, us, or the mass of the following object. And it's divided by the distance between the center of those objects squared. So what gravity is, you may not like the word gravity, and that's fine, but it's the word we came up for the acceleration between two objects. So if we don't want to use that word, that's fine with me. But it is dependent upon the two masses and the distance between the two. And we'll go over a couple slides that prove that.
30 seconds left.
So how many?
All right, just want to pause there for 1 minute. We have more people watching here than that Flat Toys channel, so I appreciate that. Real quick, Red Dead Redemption is probably the best line so far, Steel City. So you're in the running for Gold Star of the Day. Definitely got to say that. Oh God, that was not intended. Oh Jesus. Oh man, I'm embarrassing myself today like no tomorrow. I need to start this while I clean up this mess.
30 seconds left.
Okay, I'll go through this quick, but these are the four experimental proofs. Cavendish, this is a picture of it on the right here. Then vacuum free fall, which I can show in a little bit on the turnaround. And in these, we're only varying the masses and the distance. So again, back to this equation, mass and distance. That's all we're varying. Everything else is held constant. I think this is my last slide. Yeah. So gravity is the word that we use to describe mass attracting mass, just like acceleration is the speeding up or slowing down of velocity. The force of gravity is dependent on the two sizes of masses and the distance in between. And then the last thing I want to say before I turn it over is other forces can be applied to masses to change the net force, right? We have the force of gravity, but we do agree that there's the force of buoyancy, which can cause humans.
And we are live. Hey, everybody.
Oh, Jesus
Good to see you guys
Christ.
to make it for this epic showdown. It's going to be good. Between Wesley and Roger.
The weight of this ball, which
Hold
is
on,
filled
hold
with
on,
points.
hold on. I hit a key.
Let's start with Archimedes. Not what, and she's
Use a word necessarily because that's
Mass and distance. That's
sorry,
all we're varying.
guys.
Everything else is held constant. I think this is my last slide. Yeah. So gravity is the word that we use to describe mass attracting mass, just like acceleration is the speeding up or slowing down of velocity. The force of gravity is dependent on the two sizes of masses and the distance in between. And then the last thing I want to say before I turn it over is other forces can be applied to masses to change the net force, right? We have the force of gravity, but we do agree that there's the force of buoyancy, which can cause humans in water or in the Earth's atmosphere to weigh less or to decrease that force. So we have multiple forces acting on an object. No other theory, my contention is no other theory such as RDD has been proven to show why things fall toward Earth. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Roger.
well. Thanks, Wesley. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I gave you a minute extra, so if you want extra minutes, Roger.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Well, that's cute.
Thank you very much. It was quite good. Wesley. Enjoyed it. Must I share your screen, Roger?
Oh yes, it's in there. Hurry.
Yes, Dan is a professional. I need to
a
add
quick
some
little
rum
video that
to my
demonstrates-
need to add some rum to my coffee, apparently. It's one of those days. All right, hold on a second. I'm going to do some just quick cleanup here because, yeah, rip keyboard, rip desk, rip everything. That was a little bit of spray as you go kind of mentality, but hey, you know what? I don't pretend to be a professional because why would I? I have a job. All right, guys, let's go on and let's hear Roger. Get that counter ready. And we are not using this as a drinking game on this early on a Saturday. Although if you wanted to, I support the decision.
There's a potential weight, not gravity. I'm not going to use the word necessarily because that's what they replaced it with. It's actually weight causes the acceleration. But there's different biases, different buoyancies, weight, mass, or whatever you want to call it, is subject to its medium at all times, regardless. And that determines the rate it falls in. If you don't mind, I'll play this.
A few days back, I went swimming with my daughter. My daughter's 4 years old and she's learning to swim. So you can imagine how the swimming session went, right? Most of the time, I'm holding her up in the pool and she's enjoying herself. So while holding her in water, I realize that she feels much lighter in water than when I lift her up at home. So how can you explain that? That's right. It's Archimedes' principle. And this same principle explains why a small steel coin sinks in water, but a massive steel ship can float. But before we do Archimedes' principle, you need to understand Archimedes' volume discovery. I have a video on Archimedes' volume discovery, so if you've not watched that already, do check it out. I'll be putting a link in the description below.
Okay, the idea about displacement and stuff like that is really starting to this is going to be a boring show. God, I hope Roger comes up with something more than this. Please, Roger, don't fail us now. Oh, wait.
Now, if you look up Archimedes' principle in the textbooks, Archimedes said, when a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. The first time you read this, it sounds like a cryptic message from Archimedes. But don't worry. In this video, I'm going to break it down and really simplify it for you.
He's going to have to for Roger. I don't understand why you would play a video or like, why do you play someone else? Why are you playing a video instead of explaining what your argument is? Can you not take his words even, make a transcript and just read it? Why are you playing a video? It's almost like you have no idea what you're talking about.
Also, towards the end of the video, I'll be sharing a great mnemonic to help remember this principle. So do stay tuned. And then we'll finish off with our top 3 questions on this topic. Let's start with Archimedes' principle. So here's the statement. Since the statement is pretty long, let's go ahead and cut it down. So I'm going to cut out the word partially, and we'll consider the body being completely immersed only. Now, what are fluids? As the
Send your fluids to the foundry, folks.
name suggests, fluids are things that can flow. Liquids and gases are collectively known as fluids. So let's take the simple example of water. So I'm going to replace the word fluid with the word water in this statement. So now the statement becomes, when a body is immersed fully in water, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the water displaced by it.
Now, the one thing I always like to use is analogies and things like that to try to simplify things, but I always try to be careful not to simplify it too much. Because the devil is always in the details. If you simplify it too much, you risk actually losing the point. Not that that's what this guy's doing here, but it's just an analogy to kind of keep in, or just a thought to kind of keep in mind, because when we're dealing with somebody like Roger, who is using somebody else's video about a subject he doesn't understand, but yet thinks he can debunk Einstein, that's something to kind of keep in mind. I kind of wish he was explaining it, because I can't do a counter of him having a nervous laugh while somebody else is actually presenting. This is a fail to start with.
Now let's cut this statement into 2 parts. The first part is, when a body is immersed fully in water, it experiences an upward force. And the second part is, the upward force is equal to the weight of the water displaced by it. Let's understand the first part with a simple experiment. So when a body is immersed fully in water, it experiences an upward force. And that's very easy to see, because if I leave this ball, you can see it bobs up. Why? because water is pushing it with an upward force. And this upward force is also known as upthrust or buoyant force. And you can try it out yourselves at home. All you need is a bucket of water and a plastic ball like this. So when you hold the ball down like this, you can actually feel the upward force on your fingers. So I'm feeling the force here. And again, when I lead the ball, the force brings the ball up. So how do we measure the amount of upward force? We know that an object feels lighter when it's held in water as compared to air. Now, why is that? That's right, it's because of the upward force of water. So the difference of the weight in air and the weight when held in water will give us the amount of upward force. Let's go ahead and try it out. For this experiment, I've taken this hollow ball and I've filled it with coins here to make it heavy. Let's measure the weight of this ball.
Okay, so I hope I fixed the audio issue. I noticed there was like about a half second, like weirdly between his mouth opening and the voices coming out. It was really distracting. So I'm sure it was distracting for you. So hopefully this works. My apologies and everything else. Again, why are we watching a fucking video? I almost want to fast forward this. Yes, absolutely correct. His introduction video leading to a copyright strike would be, oh, so poetic. Oh my God. Oh. This is turning into, wow, this is turning into a shit show before we even get started. I'm not surprised. Okay, let's try this again and can keep going.
Which is filled with coins with the help of this spring balance. So let's see what is the weight here. So as you can see here, the weight is 500 grams.
Gee, how does that weight work exactly in the equation? There's a downward acceleration in there, right? Somewhere. And what causes that downward bias in RDD exactly? I'm curious. Inquiring minds want to know. Maybe Roger will explain it to us. Oh.
Or to be more precise in physics, the weight is 500 gram force. But for this video, we'll just keep things simple and use gram as the unit of weight.
Okay,
And
I'll stop it there. You get the idea, right? Basically, the amount of weight is going to displace the same amount of water, and it does.
You're right. Way to go, Roger. You took 7th grade English, or I'm sorry, 7th grade science, maybe 6th grade science. You're going to explain that downward bias right now, because you kind of have to.
That's just basically all I have to say about anything in any medium, including air, water, or let's say oil. It's going to displace that same amount. And the rate it falls at is due to the weight that's displaced. Sorry, excuse me. There was no gravity included in that equation at all. Just weight. Gravity, just a word you guys use.
Roger, I think you're lying on that one. I think there is a gravity as part of that equation. You might want to look into that.
That's all I have to do to present what displacement is, disequilibrium.
Okay.
Then,
Can I go into
over to you.
can I go into my rebuttal then?
Yeah. Thanks, Roger. You go ahead for your 5-minute rebuttal, Wesley. Sure.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Roger. I'm going to share my rebuttal before we get to discussing what you talked about there. So,
Okay. Max will probably cover this because he's the debate guru when it comes to these kind of things. I don't debate because I lose my patience. And I tend to, well, if you saw Tune's trivia show, you saw me lose my patience with Dick Wayne and started asking about inappropriate subjects about all the attention he was getting, like short strokes and cleanup. And this is why I don't debate. However, That being said, I can safely say that this opening, the music intro I had to this stream had more substance to it than this opening did. Because at least I put in the lyrics.
So let's compare RDD to gravity. A couple things that I'd ask you to think about. Which theory has clear definitions? Which theory has quantitative relationships? So proportional, you saw the equation before. We can pull up an equation for Archimedes' principle and be happy to do that in the back and forth. And then in gravity, it has an inverse square with the distance between the center of the masses. So which theory has predictive equations? What I mean by that, can we use Archimedes' principle to determine how fast something will fall, or what kind of weight that it will actually have? Or can we use gravity to do that? Which theory has the backing of independent tests? And if gravity or RDD fails to do any of these, the theory is incomplete or invalid. So I'm going to go, let me do present from slide. Okay. So RDD claims that motion is caused by relative density differences alone, not gravity. I think you said weight, but we'll get to that in a minute. And objects seek equilibrium. Gravity is unnecessary, as Roger explained very well. And then how buoyancy explains falling.
I bet you Wes, being the poet that he is going to bore us with math, and he's going to bring receipts that nobody is interested in seeing, and is going to show everybody what exactly works. And I predict that Roger starts nervous laughing over and over and over again, and my counter is going to break, and it's going to equate to nuh-uh. I'm not saying there's a betting line in Las Vegas, but if there was, I pretty much would guarantee that'd be a sure thing.
So what is RDD missing? It has no force definition. What's causing this? What causes the acceleration through a medium? Why are denser mediums lower? What is the reason that things fall down? There's no acceleration equation, at least that I've seen presented yet. There's no predictive math, so we can't form a hypothesis, a quantitative one, and then test it. If we can, then great. But we do have predictive math for both gravity and buoyancy.
If you can't make predictions, you can't test them. If you can't test it, it's not falsifiable. Therefore, you have vibes and confidence and ignorance in, or confidence in, arrogance in ignorance. Sorry, I was screwing up my lines there of what I was doing. Yeah, mathematics is a descriptive language only, for all those who wanted to know.
And Archimedes, in my mind, is buoyancy. There may be some technical differences there, but we can go over that. There are no experiments proving acceleration is solely due to density. These are the equations just the high-level equations for gravity and how it's measured. And I have yet to see one how RDD is measured. There are ones for buoyancy, so I want to be fair on that point in Archimedes' principle, but none for RDD by itself. These are the control experiments for gravity that RDD cannot explain. So again, remember, we are varying the variables, and in any of these, you will see that density is not changed in these variables. So Cavendish torsion balance, you change the mass. Remember, it's N1 times M2 over R squared. So we change the masses, the force changes. In vacuum free fall, we remove the medium, yet masses still accelerate downward. I have a site, we can go here later if it comes up in the discussion back and forth. Altitude dependence of G. If we do this vacuum test at a higher elevation, the acceleration becomes less because it's further away with the inverse square law of the distance from the Earth. Two masses of equal density with different force, we change the masses, and then the acceleration changes. And none of these are we changing the density of the masses. So my final closing on this before we get into open discussion, gravity is quantified. RDD is simply descriptive. Gravity we can predict and measure and test against those predictions. RDD is more descriptive and doesn't really have a quantitative measurement. It's not predictive. Engineers.
Just notice the image. RDD, the Walmart excuse, is about ready to get hammered. Here's the Wes, I hate to break it to you, bud, but you missed out on this because they're going to say falsification is independent of replacement. So you can't really say replace gravity, but you could also say it's not falsifiable. So therefore, you're not falsifying anything. You can't falsify a theory without something that can't be falsified itself, if that makes sense.
And scientists use gravity every day, calculations of gravity and the forces needed to get away from gravity or to get out of the field of gravity here on Earth. RDD, it's not used. And so I would just end on this. If it can't calculate nor predict, it can't replace gravity. So that's, I'll cede the rest of my time. Thank you.
I got a little bit of surprise for you guys here because it's pertinent. Because I just want Roger, if you're going to show a video that like demonstrates something besides actual gravity. So let's take gravity out of the equation. What happens to a density tower? Oh, I don't know. Something along the lines of this. Oh. So we're in a vomit comment. We have a density tower. Interesting. And what happens? Oh, shit. Everything mixed up. What happened when we took out gravity? Your density fails. Game over. Thanks for coming to the stream. Stream's done. Oh, Jesus Christ, Roger. Why? Why?
Thank you very much, Wizard. Really good. Yeah, it's up to you, Roger. You have something to share again, or?
Well, I did have a little clip from same guy, but
another fucking video, Roger?
Mind, give me a second. I'll go grab it.
Okay. Because
the rebuttal is going to be the same video, the same guy doing another video, another explanation, and I bet he talks about gravity. Oh my God, this is fucking painful. Look, I woke up with a migraine this morning. I've been popping Advil like it's candy. I cannot stomach this. If I have to start face palming, it's going to bring back my migraine in a heartbeat.
Is the rebuttal 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me know when my time starts, when I get it. So.
Yeah, when you're ready, we'll start the time. Just want to say hi to everybody in the YouTube lands. Hit the likes, share the show. Thank you for coming. You guys rock.
Yeah, what Flat said.
Flat's when you're coming home.
As soon as I can. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday, I hope. I mean, I have to start work in a week, so.
Is your car up and running yet?
Apparently, Wangso's got a job. Or he's had a job, and now he has to go back to work after vacation. I don't know.
No, it's going to stay here.
Okay.
No, it's going to stay here. They have to take the engine out and everything, so it's going to be out for a while.
I was going to give you how we measure displacement. So
great.
It's the Eureka moment by Archimedes.
How do we measure displacement? So relative density and displacement. That's what the other D is, right? Oh my God. Is Roger going to explain anything? Or is he going to have the other buddy do everything for him? So he had a live stream yesterday called Prep Hooray. And he had his usual band of intellectually challenged morons, and they were talking about everything but this, except for like the last 2 minutes. Now I see why. He didn't need the prep. He had his 2 videos lined up, ready to go. Okay, Wes, I got to ask, who decided the format of like 5-minute openings, 10-minute rebuttals, and then back and forth? Because like, it seems like that was there to protect Roger from looking too much like an idiot. Not that he's actually taking advantage of that yet, but
Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, I'll start your timer now.
Okay.
Okay. Done.
Play thing. I'm having problems with my mouse today. I had to replace the
I'm
battery.
sure
earlier.
you must have heard of the famous crow and jug story. It goes something like this. Once there was a thirsty crow, but the water in the jug was low. Pebbles
Can we
in the jug needed drop.
all right. I guess we should watch this just on principle. We can make fun of it, okay? But I really want to fast forward this.
And the water rose up to the top. The crow drank water and was no more thirsty. This is an example of Archimedes' discovery. And this discovery of Archimedes regarding water displacement is going to be the topic of this video. In this video, we'll be talking about Archimedes' volume discovery,
God.
and then we'll do our top 3 questions.
I'm just going to mute this for a second because it's like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, Roger, are you going to talk and explain anything? Because we all know these videos. We've probably found them ourselves. We have them in our own playlist. So when you guys bring this up, we can show you that it's not measuring anything and it's not talking about or that it's actually proving the gravity part of it or providing evidence for the gravity part of it. Why are you? I've seen some low effort, but Jesus Christ, this takes a whole new level of low effort. This is like I rolled out of bed, I click play, and I'm taking a shower while this is playing.
He discovered that the volume of the liquid displaced by a body is equal to the volume of the submerged part of the body. So if the entire body is underwater, then the volume of the liquid displaced will be the volume of the body. And the crow used this concept in the crow and jug story.
This is an egg. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Equal to the volume of the pebbles. Let's understand this concept with the help of some experiments. I'm going to lower this ball into this beaker full of water like this. And as expected, you saw that the water overflowed.
Hey, Roger, I got a quick question for you. How did he know to use those 2 volumes? Like the volume of the beaker, right? And how much water to put into it. And the water of the basin to catch the overflow that's going to be displaced. How do you think he did that? I'm just curious. He might have used equations in math, and I bet they included little g.
Goes into the bowl here. Now, why is that? Why is the water overflowing? It's because the ball is squeezing the water out. There's no more space, right? But it's hard to measure the volume of the water displaced accurately because, as you can see, all the water has not gone into the bowl here. Some of it is.
Illusion, you're right. Roger's source does not agree with him and most likely be offended that this dick is misusing his content. You're not wrong. And Marcus Leach coming in with the one that made me laugh. It's the kind of video that a lazy grade 4 teacher plays for her students because she's got a hangover. God, I think I'm going to have a hangover now.
Still sticking to the beaker. So some water is wasted here. So let's try this experiment differently. So
Let's
now I'm going
not.
to tilt this beaker so that the water overflows into the smaller beaker here. So let's go ahead and do it one more time.
Look, we're going to measure the water that's displaced and see if it's the same volume as the ball that's being put in there. Anyone else see the irony of using a ball as a weight in this when Roger doesn't believe in spheres?
So I'm going to lower the ball again. So as you can see, this ball has displaced water into the smaller beaker. Now, what is the volume of the water displaced? It's 200 ml or 200 centimeter cube of water. So by Archimedes' first discovery, the volume of this ball is the volume of the water displaced, which is 200 centimeter cube. Now, how can we verify that? So we know that this ball is a sphere. Now, what is the formula for volume of a sphere?
Okay, I'm muting this because Roger's not talking at this point, and we're just watching a science class that we all took when we barely learned how to tie our shoes. Apparently Roger hasn't learned to tie his shoes yet. Oh, look, Roger, we're going to do math and figure out how much water we can displace using a predictive equation. Where's your predictive equation, Roger? Show us the math. Show us the money. I've seen better effort from people in a coma.
To calculate anything. You can build any kind of engine. All mechanics revolve around this principle. To calculate anything. You can build any kind of engine. All mechanics revolve around this principle. So I don't understand when you say how you can't use this in engineering.
You can.
That's the only thing I can. But yes.
You can use this in engineering. This is how ships are made. Does not explain a downward bias. Explain the downward bias, Roger. Why down? If the things above it are less dense, case in point, the things above it are less, so the water is dense, right? The ball weighs more than the water is going to displace the water. However, it always goes in the direction of least resistance. The air is less dense upwards. Why didn't it go up? Because it would have least resistance than if it went down. Why, Roger? Why? Explain this to us. Make it make sense. And here's the thing. We haven't had the Humblies yet because of the sickness in the house, but it's already been decided. Unfortunately, because we could do this one. I think this alone could win the Humbly.
Okay, so yeah, that's it for the rebuttal. We're going now into 15 minutes open discussion. If you guys want to go on for another 15 minutes, we'll decide then. But yeah, I think Wesley, you go on because Roger just spoke, so you can start.
Sure. I've got a couple questions for you based on that. So he said a couple things in there that I was curious if you believe what he was saying. He said that the force was offsetting the weight of the object. So do you think the weight is a different force, or what are you thinking that the weight of that's being offset in those experiments that he showed?
Well, it's the volume of the mass that's causing the force within the medium.
So what he said that the buoyancy counteracts the weight of the object. So the buoyancy is the force, or I don't know if you're calling that RDD, but what is the weight of the object? How is that?
Hey, Roger, where is B and RDB for buoyancy? Out of curiosity, is that part of the displacement? Help us here. Because wouldn't that be RDB then and not displacement? It would actually be buoyancy. I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this.
Different than Archimedes' principle.
Well, it's the amount placed in the volume.
The amount of what?
Mass. Weight.
Okay. Do you know that mass and weight are different?
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think anybody has a true definition of what mass is.
No, yeah. We don't need to fight over the definition of mass. I'm just asking, do you know how you get force from a mass or weight? Weight is a force. So do you know how to get weight or force from a mass, how to calculate that?
How to calculate it?
Yeah. I showed it in one of my descriptions. This isn't a gotcha or anything like that, but
no, I didn't think it was.
Okay. Do you know? I can tell you, but I just don't want to.
Well, you can give me your description of it.
Yeah. So force is equal to mass times the acceleration.
Yeah, there's a shifting of burden of proof there because Roger can't answer the question. So now Wes has to explain the question like he's talking to a toddler. Oh.
And when we're talking about the downward force, your weight, it's mass times g. The gravitational acceleration due to gravity. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but are all masses subject to this?
Yep.
Are they at equilibrium until the force is acted on them?
Nope.
So, like if I set something down on a table or in any at rest, they're subject to this so-called gravitation at all times.
Oh yeah. Yep.
God, this is. If I didn't know the people that were being here, I would swear this is being a skit as a parody of flat earthers. Like, let's take the most ridiculous thing to prove flat earth, that gravity doesn't exist, and we'll use gravity to do it, but we'll call it something else. We'll hide it in the equation and hope no one notices. This is, oh, geez, this is pure comedy. I don't even know how to explain this.
That's why we have weight.
Oh,
yeah, when you step
God.
on a scale, that your weight is causing the scale to move. Some people would say the mass, but it's using the acceleration to cause the weight to move.
So when I step on a scale, I am literally accelerating.
Yeah, that's Newton's perspective, but Einstein would have it different. But the point is, you weigh something, so there's a downward force on you in Newton's paradigm.
In Einstein's paradigm, which is actually the one that consensus goes with now. So could you?
Yeah, like I said, Einstein boiled.
These morons in their whole, there's two kinds of gravity, is so fucking utterly stupid. It proves that they don't understand relativity. It proves they don't even understand Newton and the law of gravitation. It proves so many things about their ignorance that it's hard to count. I wonder what Wes did during those videos. Wes, were you drawing stuff? Were you doodling? Were you taking the dog out for a walk?
Boils down to Newton. He's said that many times. And that was one of the points of his experiments. It had to boil down to Newton because Newton's law of gravitation is a law and it's observable all over the earth. So my question again is what is causing weight? The mass and what else? Because mass is not weight. The mass and what else is causing weight here on Earth?
The mass is causing weight?
No, I'm asking you.
Your mass is actually a measurement of your weight.
No.
Yeah, it is. Can you show otherwise?
Mass is the
How
amount.
how else would you just demonstrate it?
Mass is the amount of material.
Did you guys just hear that? It's like he stopped paying attention in science class in like the 6th or 7th grade. Huh.
Material weight is the force that mass has.
Weight is a force.
God, if a Katz has to, and Wangzoid here had to highlight his own comment to make sure everyone knew to send super chats so they can ask questions because he has none.
Yep.
Do you have a definition
Of what?
that describes this? Your weight being a force.
Yeah, weight is measured in newtons, whereas mass is weight or force is measured in newtons, and mass is measured in kilograms.
Kilogram. What's the difference between the
Yeah,
If you don't understand the difference, why are you here, Roger? Oh my. How Wes is not laughing is beyond me. Like, how is he not just losing his shit right about now and just outright just laughing? Wes is a hell of a lot nicer guy than I am. That's for sure. Yes, big fish. Wangsoid switches off camera. He must be in short strokes while he's surfing porn. Yeah, the camera moving back and forth is getting me seasick, and I don't get seasick. It's like Wes is teaching at this point. You know, the 2 hours or so that you're online last night, Roger, you probably should have done a little more prep. I don't know, phone a friend. Go to the Flat Earth Wiki with memes. Do something.
kilogram is a unit of mass. You would need to multiply that by the acceleration.
Okay, for those who can't read it, Buck just showed up with $2 to say, can you ask Roger to play his video at the 1050 mark in? Anyone want to bet what's at that 1050 mark? I'm guessing it's going to be something like gravity.
Acceleration, which is the acceleration due to gravity, which is small g. And then meters per second squared is acceleration. So kilograms times meters per second squared equals newtons. That's force.
Okay. So
Okay.
Can you demonstrate this right now?
Yeah. Yeah. If you drop two things, they fall at the same rate, and then you can weigh both masses, and you get the force of gravity for each mass.
So when they reach their full velocity.
That's the acceleration due to gravity, right? What do you mean full velocity?
When they get to terminal velocity is a better yet. Do they actually weigh anything? Can you weigh them at that point?
Well, if they're
Can you weigh something falling at terminal velocity? It's like the joke goes. It's not the fall that kills you. It's a sudden stop at the end. Oh my God. This is. Oh, look. And Dick Wayne's in chat expounding his genius.
falling, you could have a scale in free fall with it. It wouldn't weigh anything. But why does it stop accelerating downward? It would be the question I would ask.
Well, it reaches terminal velocity, but it's due to the medium. It slows down.
The medium causes it to slow down?
Yes.
Would you call that friction? Would you call that
I
friction,
would
or
call
would
that
you call
friction.
that relative density disequilibrium?
I would say it's a disequilibrium. Yeah, it's a relative density to the medium that it's in.
Is
The
that
medium
also,
changes.
would
Yeah,
you also
the
call that
closer you
friction?
the closer you get to Earth, the medium gets thicker, you might say.
Yeah,
The viscosity,
why is it thicker closer to Earth?
because that's where it's produced.
What produces it?
Wait. Well, because that's where it's produced, is close to the Earth. What's the it, Roger? Is it the downward bias, or is it the air that it's making? Please answer, because either one is a self-own of epic proportions. Holy shit.
The gas changes the phases of liquids and fluids in the medium.
So gases produce more gases?
No, they're produced here on the Earth. All gases are.
By what?
Yeah. I think, now I'm going on a limb here because I'm trying to translate. I think what he thinks is that oxygen is produced by plants, not understanding it's transformed from CO2, right? You're not producing matter, you're transforming matter back and forth, right? As you breathe in oxygen, you exhale CO2. I'm going grade school level here. We're not going to talk about like nitrogen and all this other stuff and things like that, but you understand where I'm going with this. He thinks, he's got to be thinking that plants produce oxygen, because that's what he read in 5th grade. And that's what he's thinking that it is, as opposed to transforming a gas. Holy shit. And this is the guy who thinks he understands time dilation and that Einstein was stupid. Oh, please, Roger, can we please have a conversation regarding radio and radar? I would love your takes on that. Explain to me how radar proves a flat Earth. Please, let's just have that conversation.
About what? Heat, temperature, phase change between liquids?
That produces gases here on Earth?
Yes.
Okay.
They do.
And if you think that, then why don't they?
I don't think that. I can. This has been demonstrated.
Okay.
Like water does change.
Okay. Fair enough. Then why doesn't it accelerate upward? Why don't we have huge rushing?
Water does change, but it's produced. Make that contradiction work.
Winds upward.
Winds?
Yeah.
Winds go up?
I'm asking you, if the gas is produced down low and it's much denser down low, the winds are always constant, and that has nothing to do with which direction they're going in. They run into thicker gases down here, and the winds slow down in that process. It doesn't have a direction to it at all. Okay, so winds are always constant?
Yes, they are, dude. You can pull up any weather map. You can see this.
Okay. And like,
hey, Roger, how do you get those weather maps, out of curiosity? I think it's from these little, like, these rather large devices that are kind of free falling around the Earth. I think they're called satellites in orbit. You know, you can actually build something very cheaply and stick it in your backyard and download the images as the satellites fly over.
So since it's denser here on at the surface of the Earth where gas is produced, then it's less dense higher up. So if gas pressure tries to equalize, the winds would always be moving upwards in our atmosphere. Is that what you believe is happening?
No, gases are not subject to gravity, dude. Like,
I'm not. I never mentioned the word gravity. You said, I'm using your model. You said that gases are denser here on the surface of the Earth. They're lighter up top, higher up.
They're dissipating. That's what happens when the winds have effect on gas. They get pushed around. They get moved. They're free flowing. They're not bonded.
Okay, so why don't they equalize upward so that
the gases are free flowing? They're not bonded. So water vapor is H2O. They're not bonded. It just happens to be that hydrogen, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen happen to be near each other. And that's what creates the water vapor, right, Roger? That's what you're saying? I'm trying to follow here. My God, this is so dumb.
It's equal density, right? You say it searches for equilibrium. Why doesn't it rush upward like a can of soda when you open it?
They do, but they dissipate as they go upwards too. They don't go in any. They go in all directions.
Okay. The other question I have is, do you have a formula for RDD?
Wesley, you should not have let him off the hook. You should have had him explain it more, give you a predictive model, do something like that. Have him explain it more. But I know where you're going with on this. You want that equation. So I follow you because I would love to hear what he has to say. Get ready for nervous laughter.
No, I don't have a formula for it. It's due to each medium is different. So you would have to figure each one out. That's why you have this thing called specific gravity you actually do equations with, which is basically RDD with a gravity dressed up on it. That's really
okay. What are those equations? What are those equations?
I haven't studied them all. I don't know, but they are different. They do differ.
What differs?
I don't know what they are. I didn't study them all. Roger, you didn't study anything. You stopped studying. I'm trying to make an analogy of when this is. Probably when you lost your last tooth. And then you never got your wisdom teeth either, apparently. Oh, by the way, he just started another laugh, so we'll add to that, and then we'll go.
The amount of force you have to apply to something in each medium to get them to go into motion.
And with
any system like that, there is no independent force. They're just a different bias due to its weight. And there are lighter gases that actually do go up. There's not a big rushing force because they don't have a large amount of mass.
This debate is brought to you by Huber's Valley Ranch, now at your local grocer, so you can dress your delusions.
Okay. So what would be the variables? What are the variables in your experiment for RDD, or in any experiment for RDD? What are the variables?
Well, in natural sciences, there's only a few variables because I like to stick to the nature of things.
Yep.
The transfer of energy, hot and cold, is usually the variables that are applied in this situation.
Okay.
The higher you get up, the colder it is, the slower the gases move.
Well, because
the lower you get, the hotter it gets, the faster the gas.
Wow. Wanksoid here is really trying to get that get them super chats in.
Gases move. That's how you get weather. Dude. If we didn't have containment, we wouldn't have weather to begin with.
Okay.
We wouldn't have a pressurized system to begin with.
So it seemed in his experiments, and correct me if I'm wrong, he mentioned the density of the fluid and the volume of the fluid that was displaced and the weight of the object. Would those be also variables in your system or no?
Absolutely. But if you can place the same amount of weight over a greater distance, and you will find equilibrium a lot faster. Yes.
Okay. I just have 2 more questions, and then you can ask me about gravity. I'm just going to present my screen one more time. Where do I go? Here we go.
An illusion coming in with a logical question, which has no place in this debate, illusion. I hate to break it to you. Why is it not hotter closer to the small and local sun? Illusion, it's easy. We don't know what the sun is. We don't know what it's made of. We don't know if it's a reflection. We don't know if it's an Easter egg. We don't know if it's, I don't know. I can't even come up with a valid answer. Like, I can't even pose an answer to that question.
So he was showing a good experiment for Archimedes' principle, which again, I agree with wholly. We call that buoyancy, and that's another force other than gravity.
Yeah. David's coming in with, he stopped before he started. Absolutely. Roger is taking science backwards right now. He's not forward. He's not moving it forward. He's taking it backwards. And as Illusion said, it goes, Roger seems to think that we've done 5 minutes of science in all of recorded history. We saw things float and said, whatever. That's it. Let's call that displacement. Let's not ask questions. Let's just say it displaces it and move on. Yeah, that's how this works.
So here, let me share my screen real quick. I'm going to do this one first. Okay, let's go to this. So he was using Archimedes' principle, which I, again, wholly agree with. His principle states that any body completely or partially submerged in a fluid experiences an upper buoyant force equal to the weight of the fluid. And he said that displaced by the body. Is that kind of what you're going with, or is it different than that?
No, that's what Archimedes went with. That was his principle.
Okay. I mean, that's the experiment you put forward when you were discussing RDD. Okay. All right. That's what, and it deals with buoyancy, which I agree with. So they're saying that it can be quantified with different variables. And so this is the mathematical formula for that. So the force, we call that the buoyant force, is equal to, I think this is rho. I might be wrong on that, but rho is the density of the fluid. So we talked about that. So I agree with that. The volume of the fluid. And then do you see the G down here?
What about it?
What's that G, Roger? Come on. You can say the word. It's 3 little syllables.
See what it says? I don't, can you see my screen? Sorry. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, but that's not part of Archimedes' original principle at all. There was no G in it.
Oh, what was it before G?
It was weight.
Really?
So it was an actual force and not a acceleration.
Yeah, there's not an acceleration if you're actually.
Oh my God, Roger just pulled out the Tartarian version of nuh-uh. In the original Archimedes, because he was there, they didn't use gravity. They added that after the fact because they had to. They replaced all of this downward bias in every equation in science with this gravity thing. But we don't know what this acceleration is because we're not supposed to know. I think I steel man that argument enough.
Actually building something or anything, there's not an acceleration required in engineering.
Okay. Well, so I agree with this one, but it depends on gravity. Without gravity, you don't have Archimedes' principle. It's core to the foundations of Archimedes' principle. So I'll just state that. If you want to respond to that, that's fine.
God,
it wasn't involved in any of his equations when he first came up with the principle.
Okay.
It wasn't involved in any of the equations when he first came up with the principle. That sounds like a claim. Can you back that up, Roger? Can you tell us what was used, how he derived it? Did he just throw his hands up and say, I don't know? Because that's kind of what you're doing at this point. What, you can't just say that. What was it then? Tell us. You seem to know. Were you there? Come on.
If you could wait.
It wasn't even in thought of at the time. And you know that already.
Okay. If you could provide what his citation for that when I hand it back over to you. I just have one other question for you, and I have to share a different slide, so forgive me. Stop screen, present a new screen.
I'm just going to state it. It was just the volume that's displaced by the volume that was applied. It's pretty simple.
That's fair. Okay. I'm going to share this because I think this was the guy that did your.
Okay, so to Roger's point, Archimedes was long before Newton and everything else, right? But that doesn't mean they didn't know that there was a downward bias and that's what was causing that. So regardless of what they put in there, it was accounting for it before it had a name. The name is for that downward acceleration. Where is your downward acceleration? I mean, can you help us here, Roger, please? So he may not have called it gravity, and it may not have been the little g in the equation, but it was still accounted for.
Wait, it's not working. Let me try one more time. So the person, here, shoot, I can't tech as usual. Share screen. This is my last question, and then I'll leave it up to you, or we can go back and forth more. So this is the guy that you used, which I've watched his stuff. He's a pretty good dude. And so
CMS, yes, that's why I didn't respond, but I do appreciate you sending it. And you're right. Roger thinks that if Archimedes was before Newton, then obviously gravity didn't exist. Gravity did not exist until Newton gave it a name. But Roger is also the type of person who says, well, we don't even know if Newton existed. But he's quoting somebody that was almost 2,000 years before him. Okay, sure.
So this was the thing that you showed. I'm just curious, have you watched or listened to any of these?
I have watched the ones where he actually goes into gravity. So I do know he lends to consensus. The fact of the matter is that I don't even think Newton proved his own theory about the mass of the Earth. And the janky experiments that you guys have shown, like the mountaintops that they calculated the density of the Earth, were not really validated either. They were done with extreme prejudice.
The janky experiments that Newton did. Hey, Roger, how about this? Why don't you pick anything and design an experiment for all of us to be enlightened by your view and understanding of the scientific method, so we can review it and learn from it? Could you do that for us? Take anything, something simple, doesn't have to be difficult, and explain how you would do it. I'm not asking you to recreate one of Newton's janky experiments, but you could, and you could prove that you are better than Newton. How about it? Could you do that for us?
With a pre-assumption of a sphere Earth floating in a vacuum to begin with.
Okay, so it has been 15 minutes. I don't know, you guys want to do another 15 minutes?
Yeah, let me just finish up on mine, and then if Roger wants to ask any questions, then he can go for as long as he wants, because I kind of monopolize the time, so I want to give him fair time back. But
yeah, shut the fuck
so
up, Wes.
You
I can't
agree
count
with
these
him
nervous
on
laughs.
Archimedes, you just don't agree
Wes, I can't count these nervous laughs if you're constantly talking, man. Come on.
with his thoughts on gravity.
It's dead already. Quit beating the horse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with gravity at all. That's my
Okay.
point. I don't think it's ever been proven.
But he would say that he used weight.
There you go. That line right there tells you everything you need to know about Roger. I don't think gravity's ever been proven. That's a hot take.
Hold on a second. In all of the videos that you showed, he kept mentioning the displacement of the weight, or the medium caused by the weight. And so he would say, and as most scientists would say, that the weight is caused by gravity. But you disagree with the gravity portion, but you accept him as a good source on Archimedes' principle, right?
Well, he just demonstrated it. That's all.
Okay. But the demonstration of gravity are not true, or fake.
And no, we're not saying they're fake. They're biased.
What do you mean by that?
Fake. Did I say it? Well, for instance, like dropping the objects to a lighter object and a denser object, they did not get full time to reach their full speed they would actually have.
So what Roger wants is 1,000-foot tall or higher vacuum chamber, so they can demonstrate terminal velocity because that's going to change the acceleration. So he seems to think that the acceleration speeds up. And we're not measuring the maximum speed that would differentiate between a feather and a bowling ball in a vacuum chamber. Well, that's a new one.
Say that
There
one
is-
more time?
Say
Okay,
that
let's
one
say I'll give you the example. I'll rephrase it. Actually, better way, like the ping pong ball and the solid ball he dropped. They did not reach their full potential in the medium. You had to give them more time to get there. You're in a thin medium, and there's resistance against the lighter object, but they didn't get full time to get to that point.
Okay, what about in a vacuum when you remove the medium?
It's removing the medium. There's no point in nature where there's no medium, dude.
Oh, I know, but what in a
Natural
vacuum-
experiments, naturally science. That vacuum chambers are not a natural occurrence.
Okay,
Anyway.
so in a vacuum chamber, why do things fall down if there's no medium?
'Cause
Great
there's no
question,
medium.
Wes.
So there's no density.
There's no density, no disequilibrium at all in a vacuum chamber. No.
I'm sorry, that laugh got 2 because it was just utter silence and laugh to fill the void while his brain, like the mouse in his brain started like realizing it had to start running.
Okay, so why do they fall down at 9.8 meters per second squared?
Why do they fall down at that rate?
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's all I had. So you can ask questions.
Yeah. Well,
So now it's Roger's turn to go. This was supposed to be a back and forth, but it's now Roger's turn to ask questions about gravity and everything else and offer his explanations. How do you think this is going to go? If we take the last however long into consideration, how will this go, do you think? I'm optimistic. I have high hopes for Roger. Go get him, Roger. You got this. Put on that cape and you show Wes who's boss.
how do you determine that it's the gravitational pull of the Earth that they fall?
Yeah, so we can isolate all the other variables. So again, gravity is the formula for gravity includes the two masses.
Well, I'm not looking for a formula for gravity. I'm looking for gravity.
Okay. So the variables are mass, the two masses, and the distance between the two masses. So you can vary any one of those, and every time you vary one of those, you change the force, or you change the acceleration.
What are the variables you change?
That's I just told you the two masses and the distance. Those are the variables that you change.
Distance equals gravity, is what you're saying. The gravitational pull is due to distance. So let's say you had an infinite vacuum chamber. Would it increase the rate that those things fall at?
But vacuum chambers don't come out in nature. Seems weird that you want to try to now use it. Roger, make up your mind.
So again, real quick.
Further away, let's say we built a vacuum chamber that's actually, I say, 70 feet high. Would you drop those? Would the rate of that speed actually increase as it got closer to mass?
Yes,
it would. Have you
Sorry,
done this?
The acceleration would change. The lower you are to the Earth.
No, I'm talking about it in a vacuum chamber. Just dropping it in a vacuum chamber. Would the speed of that object get faster as it got closer to the Earth?
Is the vacuum chamber on Earth, or where is the vacuum chamber?
You can put it anywhere you want. Is it going to change the speed?
So you have to have what mass you're comparing it to. So if you're saying the Earth,
you can put it anywhere, but I don't believe in anywhere else. You understand that would be different if it was on the moon, Mars, Jupiter. You don't believe in those places, Roger, even though we can see them in a telescope. But yet you say you can put the vacuum chamber anywhere you want. Okay. Because he seems to think that the rate it falls is the same regardless of where it would be. I think he's mixing up things.
Earth, then yes, the closer you are to Earth, the faster or the
Okay,
the
so
greater
what,
hold on a second, let me finish. The greater the acceleration would be. So higher up, like on Mount Everest, this is what critical think did. He measured the gravitational force at different heights, and he got the predicted outcomes. There were some other variables in there, but yes, you weigh less higher up.
that's due to what?
The gravitational field.
Well, what are the other variables?
I just told you the two masses and the distance
No,
from
no,
the
no.
centers.
Okay,
Wait, you
so
asked me for the variables. Those are the two variables that are used to calculate the
There's
force.
the only two variables that would have any bearing on that, right?
On the force of gravity, yes, but there are other forces like buoyancy and friction.
See, you're making the assumption that there's a force of gravity instead of actually
Nope.
proving it.
Nope, we
Yeah,
proved
you
it.
How?
I proved it.
Give me the experiment that proves gravity.
Okay, many. Cavendish. You change
Cavendish?
the masses.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, wait. Roger's going to give us his input on Cavendish. Look out. Oh, no. How's this going to go?
Cavendish was not necessarily gravitation. It was density of the Earth, the mean density of the Earth. That's what Cavendish was trying to prove.
That may
But
be
Yeah.
that may be one thing that he did, but he proved the big G, the gravitational constant G, big G.
He did?
Yep.
Cavendish did.
Yep.
That's good. All right. Show us how he did this.
His experiment.
I like demonstrations, Steve.
Yeah, Cavendish. I have have you not seen a Cavendish experiment? It's basically.
I've seen a lot of them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you understand how it
Many
works.
different ones.
So, what?
I've seen many different ones. Yes.
Okay.
There's so many, but I've never seen one actually practically demonstrated. And I keep hearing it all the time, but I've never seen it practically demonstrated.
Oh, multiple universities do this. So I could recommend a local university to you if you want to go actually see it.
Yeah, like Harvard would be a good one, but I know what they do at Harvard with their demonstrations.
You don't live anywhere near Harvard.
How do you know that?
Oh, I checked into it.
Oh, you've been there?
No, I've checked into their experiments. I've looked at it online mostly. But
okay, cool. Do you have any questions?
I think that they're making an assumption that there actually is an attractive force between masses.
No, that's what they tested. That's the cool part about it, right? That's what they tested.
Okay.
For someone who has supposedly seen the experiment a million times and knows what they're doing and hasn't actually seen it, in person, they're assuming mass attracts mass. Now, we could take it one step further. I'm going to show you guys something real quick because it's time for a quick interlude of sorts. This is by far one of my favorite videos because it's simple. If you don't know, Mr. Lund's Science is a great channel. This is from 5 years ago. He did this in the classroom. I actually follow this exact same thing where he had a torsion bar, right? And he had weights on it. And he had the clock spinning as a time delay and saw it spinning back and forth till it finally came still. Then he added lead bricks. And the lead bricks are this far apart. And now they're this far apart. And now they're this far apart. Huh. What that is? Would that be mass attracting mass? Oh, Jesus Christ. And I did that in the garage. It's not fucking hard. The hardest thing is finding lead bricks or something of significant mass to create that.
Yeah.
And how do they isolate the gravitational force between two lead balls?
By controlling for all other variables, and
What
then
will be the other variables?
Performing it. Density, airflow, electric charge, buoyancy, all those things. You can hold them constant, or you can change them. that's why like the vacuum chambers are a really cool test, because there is no medium there, but yet the masses still fall down, and it doesn't matter the size of the mass; they still fall down.
Well, I never seen a Cavendish experiment going to the downward vector. So.
Yeah, the Cavendish isn't the downward vector. That's calculating big G. That's the coefficient, and that also shows that the masses get closer together. There's a force there that breaks.
CMS brings up a valid point. Look at Wangzoid's face at this point. Wrong answers only. What is he thinking? I think he's constipated. First, you removed 11 frames.
I saw a really cool demonstration with the Cavendish one time, and they actually took a lead weight and they put it below the actual lead balls, and it actually pulled down to the lead ball.
Yeah. You can, Mr. Lund did one like that too, where there was like a weight, right? A weight suspended from a scale. Then he put another mass underneath of that. And guess what fucking happened, Roger? Exactly as you said, it changed the weight and drew it down. So therefore the weight actually weighed, quote unquote, more. You're describing gravity, Roger. You're describing mass attracting mass.
Yeah. Automatically. But any other object they put below it, it didn't pull toward that at all. It's like there's some kind of flow between the two.
That would have been a great experiment to show on this to debunk.
I've done it on my channel, actually. If you want to go watch it, I have a couple of demonstrations.
No,
that show
this is why we're here. So if you want to show that, that'd be fine.
It's going to take me probably an hour or two to dig that up. But I mean, I deal with this stuff constantly. Yeah. I go through the experiments, and there are other different variables that they didn't really take account for in the process. I don't think they took any kind of electromagnetic bias between leads, and matter of fact, it seems like they use that as their go-to. It's like it does pull toward each other. Yeah.
No, they ground it, so they're at the same potential, so you don't have to worry about that.
He didn't. The one that I had, the ones that I've seen were never grounded necessarily.
Oh. Can you put the citation?
But, I mean, have a citation. I've looked at the experiments, and my conclusion was that it seems to be a connection between the two. And the small variable that you get out of it is the weak force that you call it is not a constant. It doesn't seem like it's a constant in any of the Cavendishes necessarily.
What do you call the weak force?
Well, your gravity.
You think gravity is the weak force?
Yeah, gravity is a weak force. And even your physicist actually stated as a weak force. So it's known as the weak force.
So you...
Okay. Kids, it's learning time. The same person, Mr. Lund, is showing something in a weight, right? So it's hanging off the string, so it's hanging off here. It's hanging off the shelf. He's making the weight in a plastic bag. He talks more in this one, and it's a little more. And then if you put another something on it, it changes the weight. It's really fucking cool.
You didn't bring the other couple examples that you think disprove or debunk gravity. But so in that case, would you say that you are the citation?
I am the citation. Well,
no,
I guess. I mean, if you want to go through watch my channel and watch my demonstrations with the experiments that I've reviewed, you can go there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Do you have any other questions before they open it up to chat, Roger?
That's fine with me. No, I don't have any more questions. I just don't.
He doesn't have any more questions. He doesn't have any answers. He doesn't have anything at this point. Yeah. By the way, Mr. Lund, really cool. With he skateboards. He does science. He is by far. I happened across his channel when I was trying to do the Cavendish experiment, trying to figure out the easiest way of doing it and all the things I had to account for, and trying to do it in the garage. Like I don't have airflow in there. The garage doors are closed. There's no actual vents. I was trying to like account for everything. And great channel. It's Mr. Lund Science. I highly recommend it.
The constant rate of fall of objects are due to their density, right?
No,
They're
that's
not
the whole
at all.
contention.
That's the contention. So let's say a ping pong ball is just as dense as a lead ball.
The only thing dense here, look, Roger is so dense he can prove gravity in its own right. He is a walking gravity well. Yeah, CMS. Supposedly he has demonstrations, but I think if you've watched any of his live stream stuff like that, all he does is play other people's videos. He doesn't actually do it himself. I might be mistaken, and if I am, fine, I'm wrong. But from my experience, he shows other people's content. So that's what he means by demonstration that he did.
Okay, let's just say that.
Okay, so you drop them at over distance, and that would be your variable, right? Would they not change over?
What's
distance?
what's the variable?
Their densities. There's two different densities between let's say a ping pong ball and a solid lead ball. Correct?
Did you not just say that you would have a ping pong?
Wang Zoid is begging at this point. I've only seen maybe one, maybe a couple questions. I don't know. Hold on, let me see. No, I'm not a mod, so I can't look at the super chats. But yeah,
Ping pong ball with the same density as a lead ball. That's what you just asked.
No,
me
I
to.
didn't. I did not say that. No, I said they're not the same density.
Oh,
yes, Steel City. Roger led the gravity well. Wesley. Hey, bud, how you doing? We're just getting caught up here. We're getting to the question and answer session. I keep making fun of Lanksoid because he's begging for questions and super chats. We'll come to you in a minute. If you want, we'll bring you up on Discord real quick after this, and we'll have a quick talk.
Yep. And they fall at the same rate in a vacuum.
They over distance.
Yep.
They'll be, no matter how far the distance, they'll be falling at the same rate.
Mm-hmm.
You have a demonstration?
Yeah, that the brick and the feather. It's not a ping pong ball, but we could do that too.
The brick and the feather fall at the same rate?
Yes, in a vacuum chamber. And here's the funny thing. They're different densities. Holy shit, Roger, you're dumb.
Yep.
In a vacuum?
Acceleration. Yep.
So the only thing you vary there has nothing to do with gravity. It all has everything to do with the medium. That's the variable. You remove the medium out of it. That's what a vacuum is, correct?
Right. Why does it fall down though in the vacuum then?
Why? That's the bias it said.
Yeah, gravity.
What is the bias, Roger?
Gravity is a downward bias. So what is the cause of?
The fact he asked that as a question is fucking amazing.
The downward bias?
The mass of Earth.
Is it? So how do they calculate the mass of Earth? Can you show this calculation?
Yeah, they did it with Cavendish.
They did?
Yep.
No, I don't know. He wasn't conclusive on it. As a matter of fact, he said to himself, that's why they did all those other experiments with the mountaintops.
Yeah.
Yes, Roger, we do science, and we do science repeatedly, and we refine it and everything else. What is the percentage that he was off by from the commonly accepted mass of the Earth now? Do you want us to get a scale for you? Because that's not going to work. Do you want to, how do you want us to give you the mass of the Earth?
One experiment is if you got to
really
run it.
Yeah.
So let me just respond to that. One experiment is not conclusive. I agree 100%. That's
they
why
did several of them.
Hold on, let me finish. That's why they do it. Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of times. Right. Yeah. I would agree with you. It's not conclusive when you do it once. You have to do it repeatedly. That's the position of science. So I don't have any more questions, Flatzoid. So thanks for hosting again. And thanks for a polite conversation, Roger. It was really good.
Oh, no problem. I don't mind the argument at all.
Yeah,
Cavendish is not
yeah, I think
science,
that'd be
folks.
good.
For those who don't know, supposedly us Globers are consistently inconsistent, according to Vicky, and according to this person, Cavendish is not science. Huh. I'd like to have an explanation on why it's not science.
You could still go on for another 5 minutes, or 6 minutes until 10 o'clock if you want to give people the time to get the questions in.
Yeah.
We do have a few questions at least. Just to let everybody know, this is your time to get it. 6 more minutes, and then
We have
we'll
a
go on
few
to
questions
Q&A.
at least.
And yeah, super chats will be read first. So thank you very much for your guys' support.
I could bring up a cool.
Max, yes, that's a great video. He openly says, I would not tell our students to name it this. Thus, this is how it was named. That is a great video. Feynman is one of my favorite people to watch. There's a couple channels on here where it has all his lectures spaced out in different videos. They're about an hour long, and I rarely play them because I'm a nerd in the background while I'm working. But yes, no, that is a great video on that. And yes, to answer your question, Stanley, yes, he used lead, and he also ate it afterwards.
A couple cool experiments real quick because I didn't get to them. Hold on one second.
I use lead in mine too
because I have a link. Okay. Let's see if I can go to it.
I feel so you should have asked about wanking in a vacuum.
Oh wait, this isn't the right one. Give me a second here. I think this is it. Oh.
So what are you trying to find here?
That's not it. Let's try this one.
Oh, look,
Yeah,
someone
this
said
one.
Earth is flat, deal with it. Yep. There's your cold. Oh, look, there's another begging.
Yeah, okay.
I should have done a
I'm going to
begging
share
counter.
my screen.
Wes, did your voice just crack? I do it and it's funny, but hold on.
I'm going to share my screen.
I'm sorry, Wes.
Let's share screen.
Yes, illusion. Roger ate the lead before the experiment even started.
And I'm just going to do share window. I think this is it. Share. Okay.
You're welcome,
so
Wes, you po.
This is the ball and foil. So they have a vacuum chamber and they're going to do a ball and foil.
Okay, Wes, if it makes you feel better, go back to the beginning of this where I choked on my coffee and proceeded to spit it all over my desk and monitors, but missed the camera at least.
In here, and this is where they calculate the acceleration. Both of them are at 9.8 meters per second squared. So no vacuum and within a vacuum. You see the tin foils going down slower. I'll play that one more time. So again, on the left, there's, can I go back? Let me pause it before. Okay. So on the left here is going to be the no vacuum, and in both there is a tin foil and a lead ball, and they both, and you'll notice on the right there is a vacuum, and they fall at the same rate. So let's go with that. You see that on the right they came at the same time, and with normal air pressure, that's what we would call buoyancy. So the force of buoyancy is causing it to fall down slower, or in that case, actually, I think it's more about air friction. It could be a combination of the both, but yeah. So just want to share that. So I guess the only other thing I would ask, I want to go back on it, is you said that, how do I cancel this? Stop presentation. Stop sharing. There it is. You said that you don't.
Good old Neil. Can't even sort out your, but thinks he can science. Well, you're not wrong.
Don't exactly know what causes weight. I think you said mass, or things just have weight. Is that accurate?
Yeah, everything has a weight to it.
Okay. But what causes weight? You don't know right now.
There's no cause for weight. Everything has a mass to it, therefore it has a weight.
Okay. Okay. So, do you know?
Everything has a mass to it, and that is what drives the weight. Oh my God.
Why the weight is, well, okay.
And Wes is trying to like make a point here, and he's doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm like struggling to frame this in such a way that is undeniable, but at the same time makes it so he has to answer.
So you have no cause for weight. My cause for weight is gravity. Force equals m times a. In this case, for gravity, m times g. So that's what my contention is. If you don't, that's fine. But density doesn't explain that, or RDD doesn't. So that's my final closing. So I appreciate the good moderation, Flats. Thanks, and thanks for talking with me, Roger. I'm ready for questions.
See, Wes, because you're such a nice guy and because you have such high level of patience that I don't have, Wangzoid had a couple wanks in there where he turned off the camera and, took care of business. So, or at least maybe he just edged himself because he wasn't crying afterwards. Didn't even need to do anything because you guys are civil. I'm not that civil.
Okay. I don't have really a rebuttal for that. I can just guarantee you that everything has a certain weight due to its density.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with any force.
Okay.
Well, that was a good
Yeah.
debate. Thank you guys. I appreciate it from both of you guys. Thank you for keeping it clean and cordial, like I knew you guys would anyway. Made it very easy. Thank you very much. Guys did send some through questions. I think we'll go through some of them. If you have any more questions, guys, you can send through. We'll start with the super chats. Thank you, Jack Fetter. He was more of a statement rather than a question, but because he did send a super chat, I'll read it out. He says, so Roger is just phoning it with someone else's video presentation. Why even show up? Just send the videos, bro. So that's for you.
Jack Fetter with the win. Oh, God. I love that. He's just showing a video of someone else's presentation. Why even the fuck show up? No illusion. There was two. Buck made one also.
Roger.
Thanks. I appreciate that. But I mean, he did exactly the same thing just now himself. So, yeah. Why he was.
No, he didn't. He explained it. Where was your commentary, Roger? You were like, push play and go make a snack.
Show up, Wes. Why'd you show up? Come on.
Well, to be fair, I did have a presentation and used my own.
Well,
words.
you had a PowerPoint, but you didn't show a physical demonstration.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's basically what he's naming it. I mean, you didn't have your own demonstration, neither did I. I don't have a lab like handy. It would be really cool if I did. The only thing I've gotten close to a lab is a bench, and that's about it.
Yeah. No, it's really nice that we can rely on other scientists who do have that and use what they've found and use their descriptions and experiments.
Thank God for the internet, right? It's made life so much easier over the past 20 years, hasn't it?
Yes, it's given idiots like you a platform to highlight how utterly ridiculous the failures of the public school system really is.
Okay, and then we got LJ for another super chat. Thank you very much. He says, at what size does ocean and seawater start to curve? I think that's for, obviously for Wesley.
Yeah. So on sea level, the ocean curves at 1 degree per every 69 miles.
I love a demonstration of this.
It's not a stair step Earth. It doesn't go out 60 miles and then drop. Like they seem to think it is a stair step Earth. You go out a mile, drops 8 inches. Go out a mile, drops 8 inches. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, if this was a debate on the shape of the Earth, I would prepare for that, but it's not.
Me too. I have plenty of demonstrations of
Yeah.
that.
We could do another one sometime if you're agreeable to it, but that's not this debate. But thanks for the question.
Then it's going to go into like a refraction index.
You are not having a conversation about the shape of the Earth until I have mine with radar, Wesley. Don't be stepping in the middle of this shit.
Which is going to get really weird because that's not really physicality necessarily.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not the thing.
Marcus, no, he has not gone into a library. He doesn't know how to spell it, nor know how to find it. And he wanted to do something at Colorado State University at the stadium for some kind of experiment that he had in his head. I don't remember what it was, but it was ridiculous and stupid. But yeah, he's self-taught, which, to be fair, I'm self-taught. I didn't go to university. But I also took 4 years of science in high school and 4 years of math, and I apply it daily in my career. I'm curious to see transcripts from Roger on how far he got in science and math and how he applies that daily, therefore to reinforce his self-teaching. Curious.
A great topic tonight. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, and Dick Wayne says, only one question. How can adults still believe in space-time filled with gas balls?
Did you say Adam? What did you say? What was it again?
Folded.
How can adults?
Adults. Read it one more time for me.
How can adults still believe in space-time filled with gas balls?
So the reason that I believe that, or I guess I would say believe that, is because I believe there's a lot more evidence to show that to be the case. We can argue about that later. Again, that has nothing to do with gravity, but thanks, Dick Wayne. It's always a pleasure talking with you.
No, it's not.
And then we just got a super
What's that?
That almost seems sarcastic there.
No, I love talking with Dick Wayne. Some of my friends don't even like that I talk to him that much, but he's always fun to chat with.
Yeah. It's good to have people with different points of view. Yes.
Oh, I love it.
We've got another super chat. This is for you,
Oh,
Roger.
look, Emma's over here providing a little bit of things. He's now over on Unfornicated now, getting himself sucked off by his buddies. Aw, thanks, Emma. I appreciate the call out.
Okay. Thank you, Buckstard Buster. Thank you for the super chat. He says, can you ask Roger to play his video at 10:50 in? I don't know if it's the first or second video.
Yeah, good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, 10 minutes and 50 seconds. That's the question asked for you, Roger.
What do you think I should do? Play the video? Because I'm pretty sure he's going to have a bias to gravity. So
yeah, he will.
I might have it while we get through these questions. So if I find what he's talking about, I'll pull it up. But
which video was it? I did.
I got it. So just give me a second. I'll put it right up. I'll put it right up now. Because it's a.
Yeah, Steel City, exactly right. I would tell Barry to tell the truth. He probably thinks it's spelled that way, Barry.
It's a good video. I like this guy. I haven't seen him very much, but I'm going to definitely tune in now that Roger brought him up. Okay, so let me present.
Actually, there was a nervous laugh I missed.
I will share screen. Archimedes principle, share screen, Archimedes principle. So share. I don't know if I can share. Also share tab audio. So hopefully you can hear this. If you can't, you'll get the gist. Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Displaced. And we know that weight is mass of the liquid into g, where g is the acceleration due to gravity.
Oh.
Now, what is the formula of mass?
Interesting.
20 more seconds.
It's volume into density. So we get that the upward force is V into D into G. But I like to write it as VL DLG because it helps me remember that it's the volume and density of the liquid displaced and not the volume and density of the body. So let's go ahead and add this formula and the.
All right.
So G is part of the
equation.
equation.
I see an upward force, not a downward force.
Sorry, did you miss the part about G?
Yeah, I got.
Holy shit. It's the upward force, not the downward force. Not understanding it's referring to the upward force of the fucking water. Oh my God. Dude, Roger, just hang up. Just please, just hang up. Just turn off your internet, please, at this point.
Got the G part, but
Okay.
he's calculating for an upward force.
Yeah, to counteract the downward force, the weight that he was talking about earlier.
So you're saying there's a
Okay.
constant pull and a push at the same time.
Yeah, with
That's
buoyancy, it's two forces.
So
That's what
gravity does both. Yeah.
That's what the two forces are, right? Gravity is the downward force, buoyancy is the upward force, the Archimedes.
Yes, Roger, I know this is foreign to you and foreign to most slurs. You can have multiple forces acting on an object at the same time. It's not hard.
Principle. So yeah.
I just think it's displacement. That's all it is. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, we know that. That's fine. You presented your argument.
So, I mean, whether he said that or not has no bearing on anything whatsoever.
Yep. Thanks for citing him.
That's not a problem, man. There's not a whole lot of
Okay.
citations on our side if you know that there's an extreme bias towards the heliocentric model.
It's an extreme bias to a heliocentric model, not that it's actually based in actual fucking science.
Thank you. Santero also sent in super chat now. Thank you very much. He says, can you ask Wesley, how does he measure the convexity of water? Can he show a demonstration?
Yeah, sure. So I can't show a demonstration right now. Again, this is off topic, but I would be happy to come back and do that for anybody else. If Santero, I'd love to debate you on it. But basically what you do is you look at the North Star and you're on a ship and you travel northward toward the North Star. The North Star increases in elevation 1 degree every 69 miles. So that's a good proof of that if you believe light travels in mostly straight lines. So that's the answer for that.
I just want to pause here real quick. Bendy Horizon has a comment up here. I really do feel bad for them, meaning Globers. It's one thing to not think the same, but to go that low because you know you can't win with real proof, that's just real sad. And then Vicky says, Bendy, I know, and they're full of hate, but they have to live with that. Life can be cruel, but they have to do better or they'll rot from the inside out. Exactly. And that's why I feel more pity than anger to them. It's actually heartbreaking a soul could be that dark. And Emma chimes in with, most of us are decent people. It's just a small group who are like that. Now, I don't think I have a dark soul. I think I have a very jovial personality. I enjoy jokes, laughing, satire. I'm not more into slapstick comedy. I'm more into like the Dennis Miller thinking man's comedy. I'd be lost on these people. But I don't have hate towards them. What I have is a dislike for science denial. There's a difference. And what I have is somebody who swears that he knows more than Einstein and that Einstein was stupid and that there's a conspiratorial bias for gravity as opposed to their alternative methods, which has yet to be proven and uses gravity. You can't make this shit up.
So all light's parallel now, is it?
But that's not on topic, but yeah, I said if you assume that. So
It's an assumption, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you very much. And then we have Bendy Horizon. Thank you. He says, what about curvy spacetime? Can you demonstrate that?
Yeah. So curved spacetime, there were a couple of them. I'm going to forget his name, but after Einstein came up with his theory of relativity, what they did to show that spacetime curves is they measured the apparent location of stars around the eclipse of the sun.
Wesley, that would be Eddington.
And they were off by a few degrees from where they should have been. And that's because, and they predicted this, Einstein predicted this. Before this, he wasn't in very good standing with the community. But after, he predicted that they would show up at this other apparent location, and they proved it. I can't remember the name of it. It might be Ettinger or something like that.
You're close, Eddington. And because of that, Einstein became a rock star.
Another one is satellites. They can't use normal clocks. They have to, I can't remember if it's speed up or slow down their clocks in order to keep time with those of us on Earth, because space-time is curving where they're at. So yeah, those are two good examples. Thanks for the question.
Roger, you have anything?
Oh, with the satellites and the bending of space-time? That's a good question, man. I can't.
I see Spin actually corrected me on that. You were close, though. Not everyone remembers that. I remember that specifically because that was part of the paradigm shift video that I did, where I talked about the fact that Einstein wasn't like, this lone wolf, this, on the fringes of science, because he kind of was, but he was just, he was creating a paradigm shift that people were resisting, and Eddington basically validated everything. So that's the only reason why, like, it's in the forefront of my mind.
Demonstrate any of those. So until I actually see these actually in reality, actually working, yeah, I assume they're not existent.
Okay, wait, Roger, you said you worked in the satellite industry, though. Remember? You said repeatedly that you worked in the satellite industry, but yet satellites don't exist. Oh, wait, that's right. Your work in the satellite industry was as a DirecTV installer. Why did you point the dish upwards at a specific location in the sky and not down at, say, a cellular tower? Huh?
I apologize. The name of that experiment, look it up. It's really good. Is Eddington. Before Einstein didn't have much pull, and once he made that prediction, the solar eclipse came and they measured it. That was the Eddington observation.
I do have a little video on Does the Earth Move? It was put out by Eric Dubay today. It actually explains Airy's failure if you want to look at that.
Yeah, we can do that next time, but we're just answering these questions.
Gee, Dubay wants to take on Airy's failure? That's not going to, be a shit show. The best video I've ever seen about Airy's failure is from Astronomy Live. You want to talk about explaining it? It's
right now.
Yeah, it just shows their predictions are off too. So, namely, a lot of you guys' predictions are apparent predictions. They're not geographic locations of these.
Apparent predictions, not geographic predictions. Yeah, because the sun's not on Earth, Jesus Christ.
Said objects.
Okay, the next one we got from Sam. Thank you, Sam. He says, what is gravity? You assume a cause of an observed effect.
That's really cool. We can actually prove it's the cause. Again, I know Sam doesn't like the word gravity, so we could use a word. Let's just use giggity. We could use that because that's the description of mass attracting mass. And so that's been proven multiple times over. Look up Cavendish and look at all the thousands of times it's been performed. And I'm just curious, Sam, why you think Einstein was a PDF. That's kind of weird. But other than that, yeah, there's multiple proofs of that. And yeah, and also perpendicular lines require 90-degree angles. So that's another proof of
Thanks,
like
Dick.
tangent
Bye,
horizontals. Dick. Go ahead, Roger. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
To tangent horizontals?
No. To the question that he asked. Sam had some other questions that I was helping him with in chat. So,
I think he was directed that question at you.
I know. Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you want to respond to my response. That's fine.
No, I don't have a response for it. I'd like to see it demonstrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we got Soggs. Thank you very much. He says it's for Wesley.
And I'm not banning or hiding Dick from this channel because he's a flat earther. I could give a shit less. Most people are welcome here. But when you're an attention-grabbing whore or attention-seeking whore and disrail an entire conversation and you can find a way to ruin a fucking trivia night, I don't have patience for you. Get bent, get wrecked, get lost.
My question is, why, Wesley, are you going against what the Bible says?
Who said that?
Soggs.
Okay. I don't think I am. We can have another debate on this. Flat Side event, and I have talked about it numerous times. It's my well, not mine interpretation. I rely on biblical scholars. I know there's a heated debate over that. And so I know that it's not 100% positive, but I'm fine with that. There's a lot of interpretation no matter what.
Yes, Bob. Dick Wayne is gone. Actually, while we're at it,
you read in scripture. And so that's my answer to that. But I'm not really going to debate religion today.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Roger, you have nothing to say? Okay.
About what Sog said, it was directed at Wesley again.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to give both of you opportunities on all the questions.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, most of the questions seem to be for Wesley. So if you guys have any questions for Roger, please give us questions. Some again says, where did you get the R value?
I don't know what he's talking about. In the formula, that's just the distance between the masses. So it's not the radius value of Earth. You can use that for things on Earth because we know that radius, but we didn't discuss that in this presentation, but there's multiple ways that you can get that.
You know where he's going with it anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we were going to debate on the radius of the Earth, I'd be happy to debate that, but that's not what we're debating, because that R value, it works for the orbit of the moon. It works for the.
Great job, Wesley, of actually keeping it on topic. Good job on doing that.
The orbits of all the planets. And so, yeah, so that's one confirmation that the R value is correct. There were other ways that the R value was measured, not just through gravity measurements.
Awesome. And then again from Solve, he says, where does mass get the perpetual energy to create a force, and why does it never run out?
Yeah, so it's not a battery. Mass
Exactly
was put together and has inherent energy in it. And so it's not going to run out. It's like, well, I'll liken it to a permanent magnet. I know what people are going to say, but it never runs out of energy unless you heat it up or do other things with it. So it doesn't require, the energy was already put into the mass, and force doesn't always require energy. They're just fields.
I've never heard energy described as a field. But
nope, the force is.
Okay, and then Bendy Horizon says, Wesley, why globers never measure the curve of the alleged spin of Earth? Why are
these conversations all about curve? Why are these conversations all about radius value? Why aren't they about actual gravity? Here's another thing. Why aren't you guys super chatting?
they always have to take it unprovable theories or maths?
Wait, repeat the first part of that. Why do the curve of the spin of the Earth?
Yeah, why globers never measure the curve of alleged spin of Earth?
Center or spin?
It should be curve and spin. I wouldn't say curve or spin of the Earth.
I don't think we say the center.
Good question, I see spin. And why didn't he use his funny little Wilbur the pig avatar from Charlotte's Web?
For the spin of the Earth curves. That's a weird question. So if you want to restate it, I'll answer it.
Yeah. And then Glenn. Oh, sorry, Roger. You want to say something on that?
Oh yeah, what was?
And why isn't anyone asking Roger questions, guys? I mean, come on. You guys should be asking Roger questions. Mike Chat's asking Roger questions here.
I was going to say that Einstein actually said there was no optical experiment that could prove the rotation of the Earth. The quote here. Yeah.
Yep. In our reference frame, I think that's mostly true. I would defer to anybody smarter in the chat about that in particular, but in your particular reference frame, without outside observations, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Big Fish says everyone who would have asked questions of Roger got booted. Oh, that's fair.
Including all these like jinky experiments like Michelson-Morley and all the rest. Yeah.
Maybe I think pendulums, Foucault's pendulum does that. And the ring laser gyroscope. Thanks, Bob.
Are we going to go to Bob? Bob never showed
Nice, Wes. Nice.
any of this data anyway, so
Yeah.
we won't go with Bob. And I've looked at a couple other ones, and I can't find any data on any. They just make a statement that it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally look for their actual papers and stuff. They actually give me sites to go to, and I can't find them. This buried under I don't know what.
Yep.
I dare you to look for the same yourself.
No, yeah, it's weird. Like it's hard looking for things like when things open and close too. I mean, citations are hard to find, and it took me a while to find some of mine too.
Okay, then we got Glenn Sell. She
Debatable D. I saw that Buck challenge Neil, and I saw that he was no longer in chat. And it's funny that yeah, that's the way it goes.
says, "What's the temperature inside of the vacuum?" Wes G? I think it was for that demonstration you presented.
Yeah, don't know, but we could. I don't even know if you can.
Steel City, what they did is they saw 15 degree per hour spin, and then they put it in like a some kind of a chamber, was a Byzantium or something like that, to isolate it from the heavens. And guess what? It measured 15 degrees per hour spin. And then they were going to do something else, but Bob never got around to that because he realized where it was going.
And have a temperature inside of a vacuum because you're measuring
Faraday cage, yeah. And then also he was going to do a bismuth, but he had to find a bismuth thing to put it into, and bismuth is not exactly cheap.
the particles, the movement of the particles. So I don't really know the answer to that, but if there was one, they varied it to account for that, right? We can weigh two masses in a vacuum right next to each other at the same time.
The same guy that came up with RDD also said the Nuremberg trials were the late 1960s and the Iron Age was the 1800s. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Temperature, and they will at the same density, and they will be different forces depending on how much mass is in there.
And they do way more in a vacuum, don't they? Strange.
Yep. Well, yeah, because the buoyancy is gone. Just to your point, Archimedes, the buoyancy is gone.
Exactly.
Then Glenn tells again, he says, Wesley, without mass, what is gravity?
Mass attracting mass.
No, he said without mass.
You say mass or math?
Without mass.
Mass.
Is that what he asked?
Without mass.
Yeah.
Mass. Without mass, yeah, you wouldn't have gravity.
So the second part is, what is gravity without mass?
I stand corrected. Thanks, Marcus, for that.
Nothing. It doesn't exist without mass. It would be zero. The force of it would be zero because it only applies when masses are available.
We still haven't got to the monkey itself, have we?
And then
monkey, we're going to go evolution
how
now?
much does air weigh, Wesley, and how do we weigh it?
We may weigh air by pressure. I think, did we ask him? Yeah, I think we did ask him. We asked him what the PSI, what the P was, and he said pressure, which is kind of funny because pressure is measured in one way of PSI. I think we asked him a couple weeks ago what the P was, and he wasn't sure of it. So the P in PSI is pounds, which is the force. So the weight is not measured at one single point. It's measured across the surface area, and that's where you get pressure.
So it's an average of pounds of pressure per square inch.
Exactly.
Wow.
But
You could do that. You could do that with yourself, right?
Wes, you did something no one has done before. You just taught Roger something.
Stand on a scale, get your if you can get your pounds of force, and then you figure out how, if you're standing on your feet, how many inches squared your feet are, and then you can actually get a PSI for yourself if you want.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, how do you weigh air?
You weigh it with a pressure gauge.
You do? That's
Or
how you weigh it?
you know what you could also do is you could calibrate a scale in a vacuum and then take it out of that vacuum, and then you would get what the pressure is outside.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So what are the causes of pressure? That's the question.
Yeah. It's gravity.
Gravity.
It is. Okay. So I can give you citations that show that pressure is caused by containment. So
Okay.
Pressure is caused by what?
That's absolute.
Yeah, there's many things that can cause pressure other than gravity, but the atmosphere is caused, again, in my model by gravity, and we can calculate it, right? We can predict it.
Well, you can't get the full surface area of a container
containment.
this large, could you?
Okay. So how do you what do you use to calculate the pressure of air? What formula do you use?
But I'm not looking at a formula. I'm looking at a cause. That's what I said.
Okay, so you can't calculate it.
Yeah, calculations aren't cause.
No, I know, but in science, you know what we do? We make predictions, and then we make a prediction and see if that's right, because then that's how we validate that, and that's what I've yet to see for RDD.
So I would love to see that for you guys for the whole mass of the Earth. I would love to see the solid pressure across and how you came to the conclusion that the cause of it.
Sure. We can measure the cause by doing Cavendish.
Here, a practical demonstration. No. Is spectroscopy caused by a containment? Containers require containers. True. Colonoscopy requires ass container. Roger uses formula regularly. Ooh, ouch. That's rough. Max has said by his count, Langzoid has rubbed out 10 so far. I'm glad you're keeping count of that. I did not have that up as my counter.
Two completely different things.
Okay, cool.
Gas is not inherently.
Jim Daniels, yes, Pringles require a container. Snacks, Science 101.
Subject to gravity.
Okay, citation, please.
No gas law includes gravity in it. Dude, none of the. It's not a citation. Those are laws, and these laws aren't experiments.
Well,
those are absolute.
Your own citation used it in Archimedes' principle.
You know, help me out here, because I may be wrong, but the ideal gas law technically isn't a law because there's variables in it and it fluctuates. But it's still referred to as that. But they want to talk about using a law that fluctuates as an absolute. Yeah, that tracks.
That's Archimedes' principle. No, he didn't use it in demonstrating the displacement at all.
That's what was at the end of the video. The G.
That's his opinion. I just demonstrated his displacement.
Well, that's his opinion. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. No, it's not his opinion.
But you used it, right?
Well, just the part of the video, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fair.
I didn't use this whole video. That's not my claim.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Jesus already
How many more of these do we
returned.
got?
How did 315 million cubic miles of water appear upon a spinning sphere without a vacuum? That would boil any H2O before it could even rain upon the world.
That's a good cosmological discussion and debate. I think it started out. I think our planet. We
got another 20 minutes of this shit.
Would say that it started out as a gas giant, so the gas was already here.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know the atmosphere is.
I would defer to people's.
I know that the atmosphere is not ideal gas. I just find it funny that they say gas and they think it's like some kind of absolute, and it's not. Because I believe it fluctuates.
The planet was formed the way they postulated?
Oh, so
because I remember a certain football player and an ideal gas law and inflated footballs.
Oh, you didn't for both of your sessions. You didn't go to a YouTube video.
Well, it's not about going to a YouTube video. I don't really care what people believe.
Then why did you present it? Yeah. If it was your claim, why did you present his claim?
I didn't present his claim. I just presented a demonstration he did. That's all.
Okay.
Okay, next one from Sogs. Wesley, if gravity is a force or a pseudo force, if not a force, then problem with Newton.
No. Okay. So he further refined it. Newton didn't understand why mass attracts mass. Einstein further refined it to explain why mass attracts mass. And so you could go a step further. Why does mass bend spacetime? I don't think we have a clear answer on that. We can always go further. It's the expression, turtles all the way down. We can always explain further. Well, I think we can, or at least that's what sciences predict. So Newton saw that mass attract mass. We see that, we observe that. And then Newton explained why we see mass attracting mass through relativity, the warping and bending of space-time. Why does mass warp and bend space-time? I don't know if that question has been answered yet. So yes, we can always go further. That's a really good point, but not understanding the first, what we see observationally, you wouldn't be able to get to the next observation.
I think it's out of the purview of science. It's astronomy, right?
Astronomy is science, part of the natural sciences.
So what scientific experiment have you done to prove anything on the astrological level?
Okay, I haven't done any. What science experiment have you done?
None. I've never seen one. That's why I don't conflate the two.
No, Roger, the question was, what scientific experiment have you done, as in any? I know it was about astronomy, but I would like to know him. I would like him to answer the question of what of any scientific experiments have you done?
Well, then why do you use RDD if you haven't done an experiment?
Because you can actually use it here in Ontario.
Well, have you done it?
Yeah, I've put a boat in the water, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, literally, I've actually traveled in an airplane.
That's an experiment?
Well, not necessarily experiment. These are sciences. These are fields. I thought with technology is a better way to.
So I guess I don't understand when you
natural sciences are.
Sorry, I saw a link. I thought they were linking to me. I was going to be like, more call outs.
So you asked me what experiments I have personally done in astronomy, as if that would invalidate my wait, hold on. Let me finish. You've asked me what experiments I have done to validate astronomy or do a science experiment. So would it not be fair for me to turn that on to you? What experiments have you done to validate RDD?
I have. I've done a few, and when I was in grade school, man, I'm sure we all have.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in grade school. How'd that work out? Oh, Jesus. Yes, thank you for the +1. I appreciate that.
What did you manipulate? What variable did you manipulate, and what were you measuring?
Well, we're just measuring the density of an object due to the density of its medium. That's it.
You're measuring the density of the object.
Is it just me, or does Wangsoid look bored? How big is his watch face? I didn't even see how big his thing was. I was looking somewhere else. Yeah, I think he said preschool too, because he didn't go. Is Wangsoid taking a post nut nap? He might be.
Due to the density of the medium. That's what you just said. Do you want to clarify?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I took an object like Anthony's experiment. We did that in grade school. The egg, salt.
So what did you manipulate?
We I can't speak.
It's okay.
We manipulated the density of the medium due to the.
And what did you measure? What was the outcome?
We actually got it to float.
So what is that a measurement of? What's the IVD be?
Well, I don't know if there was an IV. It's really a simple one. It's
Did that say you are rude? Is anyone else starting to see, like, 1 is an anomaly, 2 is a trend? What's with Flirt's holding up signs now? We have Kevin. We have Wangsoid. Holy shit.
The object, the weight of the object, it changed due to the actual density of the medium.
Flatsoid, I just want to have an idea. I don't have a time
I think it said you are rude, IC Spin, if I remember correctly.
crunch, but how many more questions do you have so far? Just so I know.
Yeah, I'm stopping all the questions at the moment. It's like, I think 5 left.
Okay, great.
So we'll only take super chat questions if it really comes up. But yeah, let's try and get to the last. I think it's like 5 or 6. Okay. How does Eddington experiment manipulate the temperature and pressure of outer space? This is by Glenn.
Yeah, so that remains pretty much constant, the surface of the sun and the surface of the outer space. So those are held constant for before and after the experiment.
Awesome.
Yeah, Wes, are you massaging the dog or something during this?
Determine the surface of the sun, man. What validation do you have for that?
We can measure it, and we can also measure how heat affects.
Hold up.
I got
You
a
have
question
nothing.
for you.
Awesome.
I'm on the backup song.
I got a
You
question
have nothing,
for you.
Roger?
How did you determine the surface of the sun, man? What validation do you have for that?
We can measure it, and we can also measure how heat affects light.
On a scale, how did you measure it? I mean, how was this done?
So we can measure how we can increase heat and see that light doesn't bend.
Heat and light. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. Thanks for calling that out, Geek. I appreciate that. And thank you, Conspiracy Music. I appreciate that. Yeah, so if you guys are here, please hit the likes. And you're not subscribed and you find yourself here on the regular, please do subscribe. I will be posting more for 2026. It's my own resolution. And I do have more than a few things ready to go in the hopper. So next up will be the pre-Shiva, the Shiva pre-meeting number 2. And then ILS debunk and HARP. So those are the next 3 things that are coming out.
Do you think heat causes light to bend?
Actually, it causes the medium to bend.
Oh, heat causes mediums to bend. Is that what you're saying?
No, you can demonstrate this with a mirage, dude.
Okay, cool.
Okay, next question. By Sov, wasn't Earth's gravity formulated from its radius value, Wesley?
Say that one more time. I'm trying to follow.
Wasn't Earth's gravity formulated from its radius value?
No. Gravity has nothing to do with the radius of the Earth. Now, if you want to say the effects, the force of gravity on the surface of Earth depends on the radius, then sure. But we don't need that. We could do experiments for.
I was about ready to question you, but I'm glad you separated, because my question for clarification was just going to prove my ignorance. So I appreciate you saving me that embarrassment, Wes.
Further out, the Cavendish doesn't rely on the radius of Earth at all. So we can do different experiments that don't take into the radius of Earth.
Okay. Nothing, Roger?
Next week is going to be the Humblies. I'm going to, I have one person who was going to take part. I asked them to take part and they said yes. However, scheduling has been a nightmare of sorts for that person, because I wanted to get his schedule first, because it's very much very restricted. And I wanted to get his schedule first before I start talking to the other presenters like Steve's Creepy Van, Max, and Mike from the Drunk Debunk Show. So now he has pre-recorded his segment, which will be great. I can use that. So I'm going to be working on that not this weekend, but the beginning of next week. And hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have everything going. So it will be this month. It'll either be next week or the week after. I'm trying to get it done.
How did Cavendish?
And to be honest, you guys can blame Wes for me not working on it now, because he was hoping someone would cover this, and I really wanted to. So,
what in the Cavendish experiment had anything to do with the radius of the Earth to begin with?
Exactly. Good point. Thanks for.
Yeah, IC Spin. We should challenge flat earthers to do an experiment, just one. I think someone challenged them to bring an experiment, just one, and that didn't go well.
Helping me with Sov's question.
Well, no, but the question is, I thought it was the density of the Earth.
Nope, that's not what he asked.
No,
Well,
the
I'm just
question
saying,
was about the radius.
the radius, but I mean, in order to get a density value, you'd have to have the size of the Earth, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about the density of the Earth.
Well, I think Sava is just making a point as how you came to the mean density. It does include the radius value.
He never mentioned the word density, so I'm not. If you want to ask me that question, you're perfectly fine.
Sure, yeah, I'm asking you, how do they contrive the density of the Earth due with its radius?
Sure. So density is mass per unit volume. And so we know the volume of the Earth and we know the mass of the Earth. So you can calculate it that way.
How was this measured?
Which one?
The radius of the Earth.
Many
CMS, it's always my fault. That's just the way it goes.
different ways. You know the answer to this. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Is the Shiva thing dead now? Yeah, by all accounts, Flat Earth basically lost by default because they didn't bring anything. Now, me personally, I'm still going to do my lighthouse experiment. I'm still going to, I got to figure out a way to do this and get some time, or maybe ask for some help to put the spreadsheet that I developed for the sun calculator to find out if it's true. the one that I derived, and then so people can reference their things, and then they can send me emails or post comments or something like that that says yes, it's true. I was within this amount of degrees, blah 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 blah, or if I was wrong. Otherwise, yeah, it's dead. ILS was debunked by Toon for the most part during the Shiva call, and I put together a thorough debunk of 6 fatal flaws of the experiment, which will be hopefully coming out relatively soon.
No, but I'm asking you.
Cool.
You're the expert here, so.
No, I'm not an expert, but Eratosthenes measured it. We can use it measuring angles to the stars. There's many ways that we can measure it. We use satellites nowadays and GPS.
Okay.
Okay, we can move on to the next one. Okay, then Sol says as well, Wesley, can you cite or show the experiment that verifies that gas behavior is affected by gravity?
Yes. So that's actually fairly easy to do. Again, remember, Sav, we talked about this. PSI is pounds, not pressure per square inch. Pressure is pounds per square inch. And so what we do is we measure pressure per square inch, or sorry, I used your term, pounds per square inch on the surface of the earth. And as we get higher and higher up, that pressure goes down. And so we measure the effects of gravity on gas.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, you're right, Roger. Ledwell will redeem himself when he gets to Antarctica in year 2076.
So there's no effect from temperature on gas, which is actually more validatable than gravity.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
Yeah. How did you vary the gravity in the middle of all that?
How do I vary the gravity? No dirt in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, Wes, is there any good questions coming up at all, or is this just all more dirt?
In the temperatures, and they do vary as you go higher.
If there's more questions, I'll keep playing it, but I'm growing really tired of this weird shit.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. We can vary gravity like in the Cavendish by changing the mass. We can vary gravity by going to the moon. We can go to different planets to do it. We can also vary the strength of gravity by going higher up because the strength of gravity, the force, goes down as you go up.
Yes, I see Spin. I believe he's bought into the rose bottom phosphoric acid to be immortal theory.
Valid citations where you can actually show you've been to other planets and to the moon, for example.
Again, you think I have to go to other planets?
Oh no, but you're reciting it. So,
but you cited this guy on YouTube
for
your whole
presentation. No questions. All right. Is anyone opposed to us stopping on this? I'll leave the derp the cope fest for Max to cover or Mike to cover or something like that. If anyone has any objections, we can just bring Wes up and have a quick conversation. But I think I'm done with this and questions and stuff like that. What about you guys? Yeah, let's talk about some Easter eggs real quick because I have your thing downloaded. Actually, that reminds me. Let me upload that real quick into my thing in here. Loads. Where's my download folder? Here's my download folder. Here we go. Okay. I didn't download it. Hold on a second. Did I not? After this, Earl and I were watching the derp early. You sent it. Here we go. Download this. There we go. And then we're going to upload. Upload a file. This to here. All right, let's do this real quick. Let's go to this. Upload a file. Come on. Did you not upload a file? Open. Jesus Christ. By the way, I'd like to just say I really dislike this this bullshit that Office 365 has now, where everything's cloud based. It's fucking retarded. Okay, Wes, let's do this on Discord real quick. Let me give you a quick call on Discord, and we'll move this over. Okay, let's do that. Wes G. Do this the stupid way. There we go. All right, accept that, Wes, and we'll start the call, and I'll move you up. Do. What's the call? Wes. All right, cool. I think everybody can hear you too. So let's do this. Let's move you up here. And let's do this. You know, I really should build a screen like Max has. So yeah, I'd like to say good job on that. Yeah, it was entertaining. Let's put it that way. I could not believe his entire opening and his entire rebuttal was somebody else's video. Like, right. So Harlow and I subjected ourselves to the prep hooray stream. Oh, you guys can't hear. Hold on. Now you guys can hear Wes.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just making fun of IC Spin and
Yeah,
Arnold, so that's all they need to know. They're
yeah, Harlow and I we spent a couple hours here, you know, listening to that prep hooray stream, and there wasn't a whole lot of prep, and now we can see why.
Yeah, I went to bed last night. You know, I'd spent maybe 2 or 3 hours prepping the slides for this, and I woke up in the morning, and you guys had mentioned some stuff in Discord, and I went through it real quick, and I got like about 20 minutes into it. I was like, I don't need to do anything else. I'm good.
All right, hold on. Let me add something here. Hold on. The Kung Fu movie audio delay is back. Let me change this real quick. Discord. Let's
Also, I can present. I gave you an old one. I updated it with a few more Easter eggs.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Entire screen. I'm probably doxing myself, but I don't really care.
Yeah, to the same point.
So can you see that? And can they hear me yet?
Yeah, they can hear you. And I think I fixed the audio.
Okay. Yeah, so there's some Roger lore in here, and it's not insulting. It's just some funny things because I just had some extra time, and I wanted it to be a little bit entertaining. So I don't know if everybody caught everything. So if you want to see it, I don't mind going through them. It'll be quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I will say this: slide 2 had to be one of my favorite ones.
Oh, this is for those who don't know. IC may be able to provide some more content, but Demok in Discord one day was talking about a car boat copter, and Arnold made this, the AI bot. That's who I'm referencing here in this. He made this and it's based on Icy Spin's photo. So yeah, that's the carboat copter in action. Well, I guess in inaction, failing. So that was fun.
Is that a Yugo?
So the next, I don't know. This next one, do you know what Roger where he currently works?
Yeah, he works at Arby's.
Yeah. Oh wait, why'd I go back? So can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Actually, just go ahead and read the second.
The laws of Newton are valid as a first approximation in regions where the gravitational field is, we have the meets, and velocities are small compared with the velocity of light. I missed that entirely. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Everybody did. Everybody did. But and also, do you see who the photo is courtesy of?
Oh, NASA Photoshop. Nice.
All right. This one goes a little bit further, and people don't really know this yet. It's kind of a new thing if you go on Arwen's stream. But I got Arwen to buy into not drinking dairy milk, but drinking human milk. And so we set up a fake company called Tender Milk, where we are farming women for their breast milk. And there's actually a site where it sells from producers to sellers. So that's a deep cut right there. So
yeah, that's a deep cut. Yeah. I would like to say I do appreciate the UC Santa Cruz call out.
Yeah.
That's from a California perspective that I appreciate that. Sorry, I went to the wrong screen there.
Yep. Do you know what Roger's job was before Arby's?
Oh, I know most of them. Yes. Let's see. He worked at Walmart. He worked at USGS. He worked in the satellite industry, and he did vendor catering or something like that. Yep.
So some of those, I didn't know all of those, but some of those come back. And do you see who the courtesy of this video is?
Beavis Studios. Oh, the Walmart logo. Nice.
Yep. But Beavis, that's his laugh. If you haven't heard it, yeah, Beavis is his laugh. So
Beavis, yeah, I get it. Yep.
Just a shout out there. Nothing here, but this is going to his satellites, and when you ask him where satellites point to, he told me initially that they point to mountains and cell towers. So, but he used to install them, so he knows more than that about me. So,
so here's the funny thing is that, and I brought this up on stream while you were still on, was that he worked in the satellite industry and kept talking about it, and he was a DirecTV installer, and yet he pointed the offset dish at 30 degrees upwards elevation, which would be much higher than any cell tower.
Yep, but no, he says they're pointed at mountains, and Dick Wayne does too. Dick Wayne actually says that they're pointed at radio towers, which is pretty funny. Yeah, 30 degrees. That's a mighty tall cell tower, even a mile away.
Yeah, I should do the math on it, but I believe that cell tower, for a normal size cell tower, let's say, like that's not a mountaintop. That would have to be, let's say, let's assume a flat level ground. And I think that would have to be like a half mile away. Anything more than that would go over the tower.
Yep. But they know more than us, so that's okay. Yeah. And he used to install satellite dish, so he knows exactly how they work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're not real.
Mm-hmm. This is a little bit. There's two deep cuts on here. One is the pen gun. Yeah, pen guns.
That's an Oakley reference.
Yeah. And then in here, Icy Spin has a video up if you want to know where a guy was talking about the ecclesiastical law system. And then for about 30 minutes, we started talking about the Levitical amalgamation system. Yes. So I put that in there. Just for a deep cut on that one. You can read the courtesy there.
RB Fries Limited.
That was a fun one. And then this last one.
I said a Walmart story.
Walmart getting destroyed, and you got Ick and Harnold in there as were my helpers for a lot of this. So appreciate them for their work. And Professor Phil Bell helped me, and Clive Davis did. So really appreciate those guys, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you. Most importantly, I wanted a place where Globers could come and not be completely eviscerated.
Oh, you mean like Buck was?
Yep. I have to play, I play a pretty thin line for that. Oh, I don't know, stop this. Yeah, I do. I have to play a pretty thin line to have some kind of voice in there, and I'm willing to do it because for times like this, and I do like hearing other points of view. It helps strengthen my arguments, but otherwise, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and thank you for covering it.
Oh, no, I appreciate the opportunity too. I know Max usually likes to cover these, but I really wanted to have to provide my own take, because my hot takes tend to be a little bit much, I guess you could say.
Hey, yeah, we each have our own style, right? Like
Yeah.
there would be some people that would do it a lot more serious than I did it. There'd be some people that would just go off the handle, and to each their own, right? We all have different ways of getting
I
things
don't have
going.
that patience. I would be off the handle.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you saw Tunes Trivia Night. I basically,
Yeah.
I finally lost it at the end with Dick Wayne ruining it, and I was
I'm glad I
patient
didn't
to
stay up
wait
for
to
that.
ask the question though.
Yep. I'm glad I didn't stay up for it, and I have probably a not humiliation. I don't know what you would call it, but I do like going back and forth with Dick Wayne because I like exposing his hypocrisy. But that's the only reason I put up with it.
You're just a masochist, basically.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you. And also in late stage puberty, obviously.
Yeah. Hey, Whatcast is here. How you doing, Matt? Yeah. So in the beginning of this, I'm drinking coffee. I woke up with a serious migraine this morning. I was popping Advil like it was candy. I actually slept, went back to bed and slept until like 1:30, got up, took a shower, made coffee, jumped on stream, was like not ready at all. And, my professionalism came out, in spades. But in the middle of that, I was trying to breathe and drink coffee at the same time, and on stream, spit it all over my desk. Now, my desk has got 2 monitors here, 1 monitor here, a key light, my camera here, and I have also like a small black whiteboard, black whiteboard that I have all my notes on. Everything was covered in coffee. And I no longer have notes on my whiteboard because they all got wiped off. So I'll have to go back and figure out what I had on there. Yeah.
Reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the hardest part about this, in my opinion, and I'm sure Toon and FTFE and Max, like it's actually getting somebody to debate you, right? So
Yeah.
when Roger said that to me, like he offered a debate, I was like, sure, when? And I just wouldn't let it go because I knew maybe he did want to do it, but you guys saw what happened today. That was kind of predictable from anybody that could have done that. So
I don't think we knew it would be that bad.
Okay. Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
I didn't think it would. I didn't think it would be that bad, but it was.
And I think it was Buck and a couple other people just said, give him room to speak. And that was always in the back of my mind. Like, don't interrupt. Let him speak. It's going to come out in the wash there.
That's what I was getting pissed off. I was like, quit monopolizing. I can't do the nervous laughter counter if you're always the one who's talking.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, look, we have a derpling in the chat. Kevin Bacon is here.
Yep.
Oh, joy. Is that one of Dick Wayne's fucking stock accounts? Because I don't
think so.
He sure sounds like Dick Wayne.
What does he want us to disprove? Yeah, weird.
Yeah, well, I already booted Dick Wayne because I'm not in it.
No, but what does Kevin Bacon want?
He wants curvature. He wants a container. He wants to sit in a container and have it sealed. I don't know. But
yeah, those are his assertions. But good thing we don't have to rely on your assertions.
Yeah, I mean it's a good thing that we actually have science to back us up, and we actually have stuff that depends on actual people doing things. And here's the part I always get a kick out of. Like, they talk about peer review being gatekeeping, right? And that if you have an alternative hypothesis, you can't get it published, you can't get it peer reviewed. They seem to think that peer review is you submit your paper to your peers and they decide if it gets published, not realizing that the peer review process is you publish it, and the peer review is people doing your experiment with your methodology to get the same results.
Yep.
So,
and that's what Einstein had to contend with. He had a hard time getting other people to believe what he did until he made a predictive that measurement or prediction that was actually measured. And so that's what peer review is all about. Make a prediction and measure it. And other people did it, and he became a rock star, like you said.
But yeah, and that's the thing. Like Eddington, and I wish they, I was when I did the paradigm, I don't know my drive hooked up, but when I did the paradigm shift video, there was a newspaper article in the New York Times about Eddington with the picture of the plate where the star was going to be and stuff like that. And it took me a while to actually find that because it's old, and but it's a great, like that validated all of his fringe his fringe theories got validated by that one observation.
Yep. And they're validated every day with satellites now. Like, you can choose to disbelieve them, but come up with a better theory. And that was my other point that I was not going to leave is show me your calculations. You have to make a prediction. If you can't calculate what the acceleration is going to be, you've already lost. So, and we knew he was never going to do that.
So the funny thing is that yes, Zeb Tepe, you missed the debate. You're gonna have to go backwards. Like I've offered to have just conversations, not a debate. Come on up, let's have a conversation. We'll go to Discord, we'll sit on screen, we'll have a conversation. I offered that to DTZP0, whatever the fuck is. Whatever. I offered that on Whatcast's channel about 2 months ago. Like, come on over, we'll have a conversation. Bring your best proof and we'll discuss it. And MIA, not in Whatcast's channel for 2 straight months. And he was always in there. And as Whatcast called out the other day, he made a comment on Jeranism's video, and Whatcast called him out on it. He says, I didn't feel like it, I got nervous. So it's like it's the part of it that I don't understand. It's like, if you guys want to have these debates, if you guys want to, put forth your theories, and CSA correct me, there is a part of a peer review process where people actually review it before it gets published. I was simplifying it, but yeah, I mean, I understand what you meant. But the funny thing about it is that, like, ever since Professor Dave and Flat Earth Dave and Witsit and MDB, like Max was saying, I think last month at some point, that they can't get Flat Earth debates anymore because no one wants to come up from the Flat Earth side. Because like I was like saying, hey, I'd like to talk to Ross, Mr. Pull It Up, about how he thinks radio proves a flat Earth, because he spouts off the Witsit radio thing that he brings up ace high, he brings up tropospheric scattering, he brings up line of sight, and all these other things that he doesn't understand that somebody with applicable engineering does understand and experience. So I want to have that conversation, and no, they don't want to come up. They don't want to have conversations anymore because they want to sit in their echo chambers where they're not challenged and they can just make up their stuff. But here's the thing. Those echo chambers are so fucking boring.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I appreciate about Flatzoid. I think it's coming back to an echo chamber, but for a while he demodded everybody, and everybody was allowed to have a voice unless you're being overtly trollish or whatever. But now it's kind of going back to that. I've established some rapport with him and we can discuss freely. But yeah, you're right. Anybody that has a name, I don't have a name, but anybody that has a name will not get everybody's scared of it, right? And no flat earther will make a prediction that goes against the globe anymore. TFE has shown that.
And I've got an argument on my Shiva streams in the comment section because I keep asking, show me an experiment. Design your own experiment, show it to me, and let's review it. Or take my experiment. If I'm wrong and you have to take in consideration 98% of the mass is unaccounted for, and dark matter and all this other shit, because it matters to the sun, then show me your math. Show me your prediction. Show me using planar geometry, that means not spherical, how you can predict where the sun's going to be. And they won't. They just keep just all around the topic and not doing it. I don't know if this will make your day or not. This would make my day. Professor Phil Bell just said, hey, Unfornicated, your guest did a fantastic job. I concur 100%, Professor Phil, and Bill. Jeez, I just combined both your names. Sorry, Professor Phil. I concur entirely 100%, and he did a wonderful job, and he was very patient, much more patient than I would have been.
Phil gave me an entire sheet to help refine my spreadsheet. So thank you so much to him for reviewing it and adding comments in there. And, you know, he's one of those guys that I referred to in my debate. Like, I'm not the expert at all of this stuff. I know enough to talk to somebody, you know, with a third grade education, but he's one, if you wanted to talk about gravity in extra detail, which they can never do, you know, go to Phil. I would defer to him every day. That's another problem that they have. They have a problem deferring to experts, which is really rich when Roger, his whole presentation was another expert that believes in gravity, but he'll only accept cherry pick the one parts, which again is so beautiful when you can expose that hypocrisy.
I played that for 2 minutes and I'm sitting there watching it and I'm waiting for the commentary. I finally stopped. I'm like, is this your opening?
Yeah.
Like, my brain hurt, and chat saying, wait a minute, is this his opening at the same time? Like, we all had the same epiphany. Of course, there's that little like 8-second delay. So it's even really weird. We all had the same epiphany of like, wait a minute, what is going on here? So, but yeah.
And shout out to Arnold, because I asked in Discord who this guy was. I never heard of him before. Obviously, he knows what he's talking about. And so Arnold immediately found him. I pulled it up on my YouTube and searched gravity, and there were 6 videos on gravity. So it was kind of interesting to hear him run away from that expert, quote unquote. So
I pulled up a new one as well for everybody else. It's called Mr. Lund's Science. I don't know if you ever watched that one. It's he does a lot of things like in he's a classroom teacher. He does things in the classroom. So he did a Cavendish in a classroom with lead bricks, balls, torsion bar, everything else. He also did one with putting a mass underneath something that's being weighed. So he had a spring weight on a shelf. He was holding it, and in a plastic bag was a weight. Then he put another weight under there, and you can see it move. You can see the weight change. So, and you said it yourself. That would have been a great example of gravity as well, and mass attracting mass.
Yep, he was proving my point for me, which was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and that was the whole thing. His whole thing was a reference like, what's the downward bias? What's setting that bias? Because in all essence, you know, if we talk about like path of least resistance, you have a ball of mass, right? A ball, which I find funny using video with a ball because he's, you know, ball phobic. So he has a ball. If he goes into the water, it's more resistance than going up in the air. Why is it going up? Path of least resistance. Why is it always down? Because there's a downward bias. What's a downward bias? Gravity. Like his thing with the vacuum chamber and terminal velocity, I almost hit my desk with my forehead. Like, you didn't let it get up to speed. What?
Like, yeah. Real quick, one thing. You have 498 subscribers and 70 people watching right now, 72 people watching. 2 people, please click subscribe, please. But back to your point. I
appreciate you guys shilling the channel. I really do. You know, the channel has not been around long, and I have been sporadic because of work, and I'm a single dad, and I'm everything else. And not that it's an excuse, but this is a hobby. So because I live in the Northeast, and because it's cold as fuck outside and snowing, I will be doing more stuff. And plus, this is the only stream you're going to get spitting coffee, drinking rum on stream, and I'm not perfect. I don't necessarily attack the people. I attack their ideas. However, there are certain pet flirts that it becomes impossible to not to do the same both. So
I want you to debate Man of Stone. That would be one of my ideals for you to do with him.
my debate style is very similar to my presentation style. It's it's not, I wouldn't call it controlled rage, but it's definitely like instructor that is exasperated from science denial with little or no patience for stupidity at this point. Like I had a teacher in high school. He taught, of all things, history. And you know, this, I'm a lot older than some of the people. So whiteboards were kind of a new thing, but they still had the erasers. And if someone wasn't paying attention, he would literally chuck the erasers at them. So one of my best friends used to sit behind me, and I would turn around and talk to him and like count down in my head and like hurry up. And when I turned around real quick, I would be ducking while I turned around, hoping the eraser was going to be missing me to hit him in the face. So I missed that. Oh, it looks like we just hit 500.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Look at that.
Well done.
Oh,
Congratulations.
wow. Now I'm going to have to do a 500 stream, and we're going to have to do the Humblies. Oh, look, Matt just asked, where the fuck are the Humblies? Okay, so for everyone who just got here, let me explain. The Humblies is the Unfornicated End of Year Award. Here is the funny thing, is we have 6 categories, and we have the most underachieved for 2025. And that's called the Rear Admiral's Award because of my Navy background and because the trophy looks like this, which I had to clean up from getting thrown at coffee. Anyway, so they were supposed to be coming in right at the end of the year. My daughter ended up with the flu. I ended up getting sick. The house was done. Like we were checked out for 5 days. Then I had her for 3 days straight, and we wanted to get caught up and do our own thing. So everything got put aside, and I still did some more work to do on the Humblies and stuff like that. Like I'm trying to make this a production. I'm talking parody Oscars production. Am I going too far? Absolutely. Is there a reason? No, just because I want to. I have 3 guest presenters: Steve's Creepy Van, Max from Your Mate Tux, and Mike from the Drunk Debunk Show. They're going to be doing the categories.
Oh, man. What a lineup.
What's that?
What a lineup. That's a great lineup.
Wait, it gets better. I have a surprise guest for a very special part of the show. I don't want to talk too much about it because I want you guys all to be emotional, ride the emotional roller coaster with me. But we are going to do well, you know, like with most award shows, they do like an in memorial kind of thing, people we lost this year. Well, we're going to highlight some streamers we lost in 2025 due to TFE, Shiva, changing their minds, or just finding something better to do. Now, I really wanted this person who's helped me start the channel and grow the channel and everything else to be part of this. And you guys can probably figure out who this is already. But he's been kind of MIA, and there's been some scheduling issues, stuff like that. Well, he just sent me, he offered to pre-record the segment. So he pre-recorded it. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. And he's going to be doing the introduction to the memorial video. Now, here's the funny thing. If you figured out who this is, then you can already kind of imagine in your head what this is going to be like. I gave him free reign to write whatever monologue he wanted to do. So for those who don't know, here's a surprise. It's DP Debunks. Back from,
I was going to guess.
He is going to be part of the show, and he is going to be introducing the memorial one, which I think is kind of like dual funny, right? Because he's not streaming because he's got some personal things going on. And I sent him the video. I said, what do you think of this? And he's like, holy shit, I love this. And I said, do you want to do it? And he goes, yes, please. So yes, we all miss DP Debunk. So he's going to make a cameo of this, and we are going to. I should have had him do one to say hi, so I can introduce everybody. Like I just played on stream, but I didn't think about that till just now. So now I gotta work out a schedule between Steve's, Creepy Van, Max, and Mike to kind of get us all together and do this. I'm hoping to do this by the end of the week, maybe next week, because I'm still kind of putting together some graphics. And when I say that, I'm going to hold on. CMS, where is that link? Nope. CMS and I collaborate on quite a few things. Let's just put it that way. Yes, I downloaded it. Okay, cool. Let's do this. I want to show, for those who don't, some of you have seen this, some of you haven't. I'm going to show the first 30 seconds of this, of the intro to the Humbly Awards. So I'm going to.
Hey Dan, I'm gonna jump off, but thank you so much and congratulations on the 500, and can't wait for the Humblies, man. That's gonna be great.
Yes, definitely. And next year it's going to be expanded, so I'll have to have more guests. I'll have to have more categories. So everyone put on their thinking hats and help out. And I would appreciate it. So go. All right, I'll go ahead and kick you off again, Wes. Great job. You did wonderfully.
Yep.
I appreciate your efforts, and thanks you for offering for me to cover it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
Thank
then
you so much.
we're going to play the first 30 seconds of the intro, and then I'm going to call it because my headache's coming back and I need shit to do and stuff like that. So we're going to take care of that. All right, Wes, have a good one. Have a happy new year. Well, happy new year, and we'll talk later. All right, so close that out. We'll move this up here. We'll move this to here. And here's your first 30 seconds.
Truth dodgers all, welcome tonight to the flattest ball where facts take breaks and crayons soar and confidence outruns the math by far.
And that's all you get. So here, as I know, is muted. Yeah, a lifetime failure award clearance is actually on the is on the slate, but we decided to do a yearly underachievement award. So there is a video on the channel about the nominations. We did a live stream. We went over the nominations. We asked for additional last-minute nominations. I had a secret panel of voters. All the winners have been identified. We are ready to go, minus a few visuals and things like that. So. Yeah, the Humblies will be coming. It'll be coming within the next week or so. And I sent a message to Toon today because I'm nominating a top left, and I'm volunteering to do a video. Arnold and I are going to be working on that, teaming up, because I think I have a great idea, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be a little bit different than anything you've seen for the top left, but I think it is the absolute spirit of the Dunning-Kruger effect distilled in a concentrated form. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here. I want to thank you guys for supporting the channel. I want to thank you guys for getting me up over 500. I would not have been able to do it without you guys. So all 502 of you, thank you. Welcome to the Zoo Crew. If you're new here, Zoo Crew is basically, it's kind of a shared community between DP Debunks, the Drunk Debunk Show, myself. Things get a little sideways sometimes, and be prepared for innuendo and double entendres, because that's just the way we do things. But if you are here, by all means, join a Discord too. You can get to me directly. I also reply to messages. You can send me an email. And by all means, we're always looking for ideas. So whether it be merch ideas, whether it be video ideas, or whether it be live stream ideas, the floor is always open. I'm always open to ideas, and I'm welcome them all the time. So with that being said, Mike Gurney has a ton of clips to send. So Mike Gurney has been my hero of late, because he's been sending me clips of Roger, so I didn't have to watch it all. And because there's so much dirt to watch, you kind of have to pick a pet flurf, and I haven't yet. But I've had a few people who have been sending me clips of things that make life easy. And now I have it because I need it for top left. And so Mike Gurney is actually going to be part of this collaboration with Arnold and I, because he's providing a lot of the material. So I appreciate it, bud. Thank you for all that you've done so far. I appreciate the emails. Keep them coming by all means. So again, thank you. If I didn't call out your name specifically when you were here, look, I appreciate you guys being here, each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And with that, we're going to end the stream, and we're going to end the stream on a song. I don't know, you know what? I feel like a, let's see. Let's do a little punk music on the way out, because I'm feeling kind of punky. All right, guys, have a good weekend.
Telling's his weapon, he's the real damn deal. From Witsit's Hubris Valley Ranch to Vlad's rage, he's lighting up lives with a sailor's rage. He ain't no skeptic, just a bullshit slayer, with a cup of rum and a truth conveyor. When someone says they control, just smirks and says, nice try. He's unfornicated, no fluff or spin, debunking the madness again and again. From flat earth fools to the art brigade, he's cutting through crazy with a sharpened blade. It's the unfornicated, declassified files tonight, and the STD report is locked in tight. Where STD means stupid theory debug, he's dropping truth bombs while he's getting drunk in his Hawaiian shirt with that sailor grin. He'll call out they, who the hell's them again? No patience for myths, no time for pride. He'll bury bad science and let facts ride. He's unfornicated, bringing truth with style, laughing through the chaos all the while, with the rum in his hand and logic on deck. He's sinking dumb claims like a shipwrecked wreck. He'll say they're lying, he says name one. You say Earth's flat, he's already done. You bring a wild claim, he brings the heat. Dance the truth storm, you'll never beat. Yeah, unfornicated, living loud. No tinfoil nonsense allowed in the crowd. He's the sailor of sanity, the reason afloat while conspiracies die.